Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a long-awaited and very exciting episode of That Pretentious Book Club.
Yay, welcome back.
Yay! That over there is your host, Kendall Shaw, aka Dr. Spoons Palermo. I am Ash O'Rourke, and you can call me Wheezy. And I did my own intro because we have a special guest today, a recurring guest who came back, you may remember, for the selection episode, our last fangirling about Kiera Cass. And so here she is, she's back.
Yay!
Hello.
It's Katherine.
It's Katherine.
Pod-astrologist.
Yeah, I was wondering if anyone else was going to do the intro.
Be like, pick it up for me, pick it up. Lays out what I'm
Our
saying.
pod-astrologist, to whom we owe everything, always with us in spirit, not always with us in presence. That's Katherine.
True.
One of our many Katherines that we're collecting.
That's true. It's a very Katherine heavy.
Yeah,
community.
y'all should do An Abundance of Katherine's by John Green.
You are
Have you
so
not
smart.
thought about that?
I've never thought
Oh
of
my
it.
God. Okay, hang on. I'm writing it
I got
down.
it for a birthday present one year.
An abundance of Katherines. That's amazing.
That would be so funny. And then we could get both of our Katherines to come on.
That's so great. And
Yeah.
then I can have a child named Katherine, which I've been trying to convince my husband to do because I love the name Katherine and he doesn't want to
It's
do
a great name.
I know, it's
Wait,
fantastic.
speaking of baby names, like, can we address the elephant in the room right now?
it. Which elephant?
Aeschylus.
Oh, I
The
know.
name Aeschylus.
Aeschylus. The name of my child. And I was like, excellent namesake. Perhaps even better than the original namesake.
Yeah, for
Definitely naming
everyone
my
not in
child
the loop.
Aeschylus now.
After we read, anyway, Ash is very convinced that Aeschylus would be a great name for a child. Aeschylus being the name of the prince from Romeo and Juliet,
Yes.
and the name of a prince in the book we're reading today.
Yes, Aeschylus Dragon Slayer O'Rourke, if anyone is interested, is the name I am pushing pretty hard for my kid. Or Catherine Dragon Slayer O'Rourke. It's a girl. these are what I'm pushing for. Also, I want to show off my mug my sister got for me. I don't know if you can see because my green screen's doing weird stuff. Oh, come back. There we go. It says, keep your heels in standards high. I think it's good. I think it's fun.
I like the little Eiffel Tower. You're
I
giving
know it's got
Emily
an
in
Eiffel
Paris.
Tower. It's a giant teacup. It's not like a normal mug. It's a giant teacup, and so
Yes.
that's also why I enjoy it. But yeah. Anyways,
Well,
they have lollipops on their screen, you guys. I was sorry. I just was gonna say, if you guys aren't watching this, our videos are all on Patreon. You can go to Patreon/StorySiren Studio if you want to see them. But just to give you context, if you're just listening with your ears, Spoons and our pod astrologist over there have lollipops decorating their screen, and I figured out the magic of green screen, and I have a library behind me, and it looks amazing. And I would like to think that this is what Annika's library has
Oh,
this
yeah.
kind of vibe of.
I love that.
I'm trying to be in theme for her. But
That's
you were
good.
saying.
She'd appreciate it.
Mhm.
I was gonna say our lovely Katherine brought over some libations for us. And so we're
Ooh.
having hot chocolate, a little spiked hot chocolate, but I left
Ooh.
my mug over there.
Oh.
And I'm like,
You
should I
go
go
get
grab
it?
I'll grab it.
I just realized because I was not, while you guys were setting up, I was just playing with
Thank
my green
you.
screen and not watching you guys. I just heard you talking about your headphone situation. I did not
Mhm.
realize you guys are sharing a single set of like earbuds, like high schoolers in love.
Yeah,
like
we
in
are.
a cute prom movie. That's
We're like
what-
on the bus right now. Like,
Yeah.
cheers. Oh, cheers.
There you go. Drinking spiked hot chocolate on the school bus.
And it's like it's like one of those songs where they mix it between the audio, so I'm only getting half the song,
But
you know?
yeah, exactly. That's so funny. I feel so spoiled with my headphones now.
You're living a life of luxury.
I am. Oh, if you guys don't want to hear the nonsense and you only want to hear about this amazing book, you guys can do that. Go to the podcast description, the episode description below, and use the skip notes. You're welcome. I remember.
Yes, there we go.
So, now on
Only
the
4
things that
minutes on this
everybody
one.
cares about, our lives. How have y'all's weeks
The
been?
nonsense.
The nonsense.
Yeah, my week has been okay. I had great fun reading this book, so that was exciting.
Mhm.
And then last night, I rewatched Fiddler on the Roof last night. This was a week of watching movies for me, which, you
I
know,
love
what's
that.
new, but rewatched Fiddler on the Roof last night. Gotta be one of the best movies ever made. Like,
I
it's
agree.
so good.
Mhm.
And then, oh my God, my life was like changed forever this week because for the first time, I'd seen parts of it before when I was very young, but I used to be too scared of it, so I'd turn it off every time. But I watched for the first time the full Peter Pan from 2003 with like live action Peter Pan.
Who's in
Oh
that?
my God.
Is that the one with? No, that's Hook. That
Yeah, not
what's his
Hook
name is in.
and not Pan. The one, but
I've-
this one is like
2000 what?
three, I think. I'm just gonna say this. If I had watched this movie in full when I was like 10 years old, I'd be a different person now. You know, they fully were like, we know exactly what the preteen girls want. And his name is Peter Pan. And
Yeah.
I'm like so
It's true.
confused how J.M. Barrie was like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm going to kill every preteen girl I can with this horrible boy. Like, something
Horrible.
about him is
He's
so
like
horrible.
maybe a
Peter
sociopath.
Pan.
Like he's not a
I have
good
no
dude.
signal here. I cannot look up who Peter Pan.
She can... Anyway,
It's anytime I'm in like this area of Kyle, my phone
that's
says
weird.
can't Google
It says
anything.
no, you are not allowed to
I'm
look
just
at
trying
Peter
to
Pan.
see what.
I mean, it's
Well,
just like
I've clearly never seen.
they
that.
really amped up like everything good about Peter Pan, which is most things. I love Peter Pan, as we
About the book or the story of the
Lengthy.
character, because the character doesn't have that much good stuff about him.
No, he's horrible, but like, you know, you kind of get it. You're like, okay, like Wendy, I get it, you know, like
Yeah.
he's
No,
like, I get
100%.
it. That's kind of like the
Yes.
vibe of it.
It's
But
true.
the funny thing is that now that I'm 25, I'm like, they really amped up like the Peter Wendy romance for this movie. And as a 10-year-old, I would have eaten it up. As a 25-year-old, I'm just like, y'all are 12. Like, this is so funny. I can't stop laughing about it. Anyway,
I know. They
great.
knew what their target audience wanted.
They knew what the target audience was for sure. But great film.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So now I'm just having a great old time.
Nice. Sounds like fun.
What did you do this week?
Mhm.
I think I had Monday off.
Oh,
What was
Nice.
Monday? Second, third?
Yep.
yes, the second.
Yeah, second. Because I also had it off. It was awesome.
Oh, because I was driving that day because we went up to Pennsylvania for Christmas, so we were driving back that
Oh.
day.
Wow,
Yeah.
big drive.
Yeah, we did it well, we made really good time on the way there and on the way back
Good for you.
because we drove through the night, you know,
Oh, yeah.
consistently 10 plus over.
Oh my God.
And there was
Wow.
hardly any traffic.
Nice.
So we made it, we shaved like a good hour or two off of the whole drive.
Wow, I'm impressed. Every time I go on a road trip, we add about 2 hours because
Yeah.
I just like don't go fast.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
really
that's
good. Good for y'all. Was it a nice drive? Like pretty? No.
No.
Wow.
Well, okay, so we left at like noon on the 1st,
Mhm.
which was Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
And then, because we go like through the night, so half of it,
You can't
You
see it
can't even
anyway.
see.
Yeah.
and then by the time it's morning, you're in like Arkansas.
Yeah.
And
And you're like,
Arkansas
okay, big
to here
whoop.
is kind of boring.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
And you don't
That's
drive
right, Arkansas.
through, like I've done the drive where you go the long way through Tennessee rather than like Memphis to Nashville to Kentucky and up, because that's like there's not a ton there, but if you go the long way through Tennessee, you go through like some of the Smoky Mountains and it's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
But we didn't even do that.
Oh.
And I think it was dark by the time we got to like southern Ohio, and there's not a lot in Ohio. So Ohio's boring.
You were just like in
And
the
you
boring parts.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but like Kentucky is kind of hilly, so some of it looks nice, but it was dark
Yeah.
by
So
the
it's like,
time we were
okay.
in Kentucky. So
Well, that stinks. But was Christmas good?
yeah, Christmas was good.
At least there was that.
Christmas is good.
That's
You were
good.
like,
I'm glad.
Monday sucked.
That's really good.
But I had it off, so at
Yeah.
least there was that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nice. Even a really boring day off work is better than a day at work with something fun afterwards.
Mhm,
I'm okay
true.
with that. Yeah.
I got a cricket for Christmas.
Oh,
like
oh,
those vinyl
things
that
cutters.
cut, yes.
Mhm. I haven't used it
Ooh,
yet.
That is so fun.
That
I don't
is
know what
fun.
I'm gonna make.
You can, the world is your oyster. You
I
can do
know.
anything.
I've been looking at a lot of stuff, but I haven't taken it out of the box yet
Yeah.
because we're
A new
well.
currency
So
for the United States of America.
Yeah. There you go.
yeah, I haven't taken it out because I don't want to take a whole bunch of stuff out because we should be moving soon.
Yes, your big news.
So we're buying a house. Mhm.
Yay.
We close next week, next Friday.
My God.
So I don't want to
So
like
exciting.
take out, because it's like a box that is the actual machine, and then I have another huge box that is like all the like starter.
Materials.
It's like a starter
Mhm.
kit with all the materials, all the like starter vinyl, all the stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take everything out. Just to
No. Yeah.
pack it all up in 2 weeks.
Tell us about
Yeah,
your
you'll just-
house. I want to know about the
Yeah.
house.
Um,
Well, it's a house.
It's 2,300
Like it's
square
boring
feet.
too.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it has some like
Nice.
work that we need to do because whoever
Yeah.
was in there before had a TV in every single room.
Ooh.
And whenever they were trying to mount the TV, it looks like they didn't know how to mount, like put a mount on the wall, because
Mhm.
there's half the room still have the mounts there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the other half has like 20 holes where a mount would be. Like they tried to put it in and missed like 4 times and then took it out eventually.
Incredible.
So we have to,
That's how I do stuff.
I mean,
too.
there's a lot of just like
Yeah.
small stuff like that we need to,
Right. Needs to be
you know, it's
fixed.
easy to do, but it needs to be done. Paint
Yeah.
the walls.
But,
We
you
want to
know.
do something with the kitchen because the kitchen's kind of small
Mhm.
and I hate the counters
Mhm.
and the amount of counter space.
But it
So
is a house. That's
it is
gonna
a
be
house.
yours.
exciting.
It's got a yard so the dog can
Yay.
not be a pain in the ass.
Right.
Because she,
Take the
Wow.
dog out all the time.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
so she'll
yeah.
love it. There's a lemon tree in the backyard.
Oh.
It doesn't have any lemons at the moment because, so after we like put in an offer and they accepted, I took over my cousin. Actually, my cousin didn't even go. Her husband brought her kids over and she was like, I'm going to have the evening for myself. So, but them 3 came over and we were showing them, and the 2 kids are like 2 and 4, or her birthday's, she's almost 5, but
Aw.
2 young kids, and we were showing them around and we're like, oh, look at this lemon tree. And they picked all the lemons off the tree and brought them, like peeling them half off because they're children.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we're like throwing them around the house inside. And we were like picking up a bunch of like sticky lemon peels from the carpet
my
upstairs.
gosh.
And we were like, oh.
Oh
So there's
my
no more
goodness.
lemons on the tree.
No more.
And since it froze like right before Christmas,
Mhm.
I haven't
Yeah.
been back there since. So hopefully the tree's okay.
Oh yeah. Well, if not, you
My,
can plant a new one in spirit of
Yeah.
the
I mean,
old lemon tree.
yeah, it's
I
just
might be
not
doing the same thing.
established.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have a whole orchard. How are
Yeah.
they doing? They did.
Not good. I mean, they weren't doing
Oh.
good when we moved in April. So I
Mhm.
don't know. I think maybe the pear trees made it. Some of my currants made it. My blueberries made it. Don't know if my pomegranate. It's supposed to be a cold hardy pomegranate tree, but it's just a baby, and it was such a hard freeze. Like we don't usually
Yeah.
get that, and so yeah. So I don't know if it's okay. My lemon tree looks dead. I don't know if my
Aw.
lemon tree is okay. It was pretty young
No.
too, but it looks dead. So I hope it comes back. It remains to be seen. Some of the trees surprised me that I didn't think were going to come back. Like when everything started to like, because we started like looking at the house and getting all the paperwork for it in like this time last year. So
Mhm.
I saw it all before it bloomed out, and I didn't think a lot of it was gonna, and it did. So I'm just hoping the same thing happens this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers
We'll see.
crossed.
Yeah.
Well, how was your week, Ash?
It's fine. I'm trying to think. Ruby is a handful. My mom wasn't here this week, and my mom, obviously, my brother Daryl's staying here because my mom's building, and so I haven't given this update in a very long time. But my mom's kind of decided what she wants to do for her house plan. We're working on our house plan, so that's all exciting. But Ruby, my puppy, is very used to my mom being here, and so mom was gone on a business trip for a week, and I didn't realize how badly it was affecting her. I was just like, the dog is just peeing everywhere. It's like we've regressed in house training. And then when my mom got back yesterday, I had never seen my dog react like this. She lost her mind.
Oh,
It was so with the sound, she sounded like a fox, you know, like the weird sounds foxes make when they're excited.
Mhm.
That's what she sounds like when she gets out of her mind excited. And she's kind of like red colored fur, and she's got this little bitty narrow face because she's a puppy. So she kind of looks a little bit like a fox too. So she was just losing it. And I was like, this explains it. And she's already been better in accent wise in the last like 24 hours. She was just upset because my mom wasn't here, and she's passed out. She's already had a big day. I was late to recording because she was disgusting and she needed a bath, and I also needed a bath. So I was in the shower, and then I just usually let her prance around in the water because she likes to play in the water while I shower. But I was like, girl, you stink. You have to have a bath now.
Yes,
So-
your own bath.
So I closed her in, but it's like harder because I don't have like a shower head I can take down and like wash her with. So I was just like filling up this little cup and rinsing her, filling up this little cup and rinsing her.
A shower head that's what I need for the house.
There
Because
you
I don't think
go.
they have shower heads that reach down.
Oh
It
yeah,
makes
for the
all the
petty.
difference.
Noted.
Mhm.
Because we
Yep.
just, I mean, she's okay in the bath. We'll smear peanut butter on the wall.
Yeah,
Mm.
I used to do that
Hold
too.
her, just have the head like going
Yep.
down. She doesn't like it, but
No, yeah.
she is small enough that
Yeah.
It's so funny
Yeah.
to trick your pets into taking care of them. Like, please, I'm begging.
So she's knocked out. And also I went on a really long walk this morning. And so, and I usually don't leave her like locked in the bathroom because it feels mean, because she's a puppy and not house trained. I can't just let her roam while we're gone. And I don't want to do crate training with her. And come at me, people. I've had this conversation 100 million times. I'm not changing my mind. And so anyways, so I lived in the bathroom. I didn't know how I was going to go. She didn't have any accidents the whole time I was gone. But I think that I had let her play really hard outside before. So I think she just slept the whole time we were gone. But then she got so excited when we were back that she amped herself up again. And then she had a shower, which wore her out. And then she got amped up again because Caleb came out of his room, and she's obsessed every time he comes out of his room. She's like, it's been forever since I've seen you.
She's a puppy. Everything is exciting to her.
Exactly. So she is knocked out. She's had a very, very big morning of really nothing exciting happening, but she's just been very worn out. So she looks like
oh
in pain.
God.
She's so tired over there. She's so
poor
cute.
Baby. Tuckered
I feel
out.
like she's tuckered out. Oh, and I finished writing our D&D campaign. It's completely finished. It probably took 30 hours, to be honest. The amount of writing in my book I could have gotten done if I was doing that instead of the D&D campaign. But we start it tomorrow, so that's exciting.
Yeah, Ash is DMing for us. Oh, sorry. My phone went off. Everyone, yes, I do have the SpongeBob ringtone. Everyone,
have as long as I can remember.
Yeah, now it's getting cold. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, you have to drink it before it gets
bring
cold.
out the next drink after this.
I'm also proud of myself because I have been working out every single day, every morning, and I've been eating healthy. Like, I actually like eating all of my meals, just eating healthy food. So for me, that's very good. So I'm impressed with myself.
Good for you. Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers with my sugar-free creamer in my tea. It's actually pretty tasty. But I get to have pizza today, so I don't care. And I made these like last night. I was like, I have to have something chocolate because I was being hormonal. I was like, I'm gonna lose it if I don't get something chocolate right now. And so I was gonna ask my brother to make them, and I was like, he won't make them right. And even though I had no idea what I was gonna do, and so I made like these zucchini banana brownies, which I know taste disgusting. But here's a fun trick: if you are trying to make like healthy desserts, you can't taste zucchini in stuff. Like carrots, you could taste carrots when you put it in desserts. Bananas, you can still taste the banana flavor. Zucchini, when it's baked into something, you just don't taste it. It just makes it really moist and it makes it more filling. So I used that and oat flour, and then like real chocolate chips. So it did have real sugar in it, and like cocoa powder. And I made these brownies, and they needed a little maple syrup on top, honestly, because they were not quite sweet enough. I would have maybe put a little bit of sugar in next time, but the texture was impeccable. It was like almost fudge, but still a brownie.
Whoa.
And
you cracked
so
it.
I did crack it. And it was so deeply chocolatey. I was like, this is exactly what my emotions needed right now.
Yeah.
And so I just ate that for dinner last night. So that was nice.
It all sunk to the bottom.
You just get a shot, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Woo!
I can, like, you can see the chocolate. Well, I can't really show it. You know, the hot chocolate mixture, how it sinks to the bottom, and then the moonshine is all just right on top of that.
Yeah.
You got moonshine in it. Is it like a flavored moonshine?
It's
or
vanilla cafe mocha.
Ooh,
got it for Christmas.
That sounds good.
Exciting.
Do you have a second libation? I heard you say you're gonna have another drink. I'm curious.
Oh, I just have some. I brought some Trader Joe's wine.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We're really living it up over here.
You guys are. I'm so jealous. Maybe I'm going to go to Neighbors today, and I'm going to get the Neighbors Long Island iced tea. And I don't care if it's not good for me. So
what's Neighbors? Is that a store?
It's a pizza place.
It's a really good pizza place where she lives.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah. It's delicious.
Good. You should do it. You should.
I've earned it. I worked out all week. And also, here's my last brag. My life has not been that exciting lately.
Here's my last brag.
I got this candle. And look how pretty the container is.
It's a cute. I like the container.
Yeah, very cute.
Well, I love it. I specifically, because my house smells like animals all the time. And so I like obsessively like candles everywhere. And so I was looking for them though that have like cool containers I can reuse for stuff, and it won't look like I'm reusing a candle container.
Like a refillable?
Yeah, I can like get the wax out, and then it's just like a really nice, and it's white tea is the smell, and so it smells really, really good. And listen to this. It's just so, for me, the aesthetic of having like a little metal tin candle makes me very happy. So
it's very cute.
It's pretty much
me for some reason when I first saw it, something about it reminded me of Anastasia, like I guess the shape of that thing.
And the little handle on it. Yeah, I gotcha. And of course, reading this book, which has been wonderful. I read it in 2 days. but I was like determined to like really enjoy it and not rush through it. And
Me
it was
too.
amazing. So I did read it in 2 days, and it was worth every single minute that I couldn't devote to something else. So that
Oh
was
yeah, I
wonderful.
was super into it.
Yeah.
Should we get
And
into it?
we should get into it. I was gonna say I was about to actually take us right into it. We're not gonna do
Gotcha,
our Kiera Cass bio, because if you guys want that, you can go to our episode on the selection and you can listen to us talk about Kiera there. I will say, if you guys have not listened to our more recent episodes, Spoons and I got to meet her. Not for me, it was the first time. Spoons is like, met her several times. A weirdo.
I know.
She was still really, really nervous.
Was
it was
it the
adorable.
second or third?
This was the
Fifth, sixth, seventh,
third time.
Third.
Third. Plus, she texted me that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're besties. Her and Kiera, they're besties.
Yeah, we're basically best friends.
Yeah.
She has no idea who I am.
But it was. I gave her a
This
sticker for
girl,
the
like, keeps
pod.
showing up at my
And
She's like, ew, she's here again.
she was adorable. She was very funny. We got to listen to a Q&A. And so, fun fact, not really so fun fact, more just like, here's the fact everyone might not know. So she's had this contract with her original publisher until now. This was the last book that she was under contract for. And so she's not saying she's not going to publish anymore, but there's nothing officially in the works, like under contract.
Right.
So, which is like the first time in like what, a decade or something that we haven't had a Kiera Cass book in the works.
10th book.
10th book.
10th.
Yeah.
Because
You counting all the
yeah, because there's the one that's like the short stories.
Is that you're counting that as
I'm
one?
counting that as well.
Yeah.
7, 8, no, yeah, 10.
Yeah.
10 books. Yeah.
Both selection series. Betrothed, Siren, and this.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
She's
I
been
didn't realize it.
very, very busy, but her and her
She's
family are
busy.
moving, and she sounds very excited about this new phase of her life. I think she'll still write. I think that's what she said at the Q&A. She'll still write. She still has ideas. Whether or not she is going to pursue publishing them, but she really didn't have any comment on it. So don't know, but that made me kind of sad, but I know she's been working really hard for a long time on all these books. So I'm like, I know that you deserve a break, but also
I think she'll be back.
I think
She's
she'll
got
be
more
back
up her
too.
sleeve.
I think she does too. And she said that too. She kept talking about having stuff up her sleeve. So I guess for a long time, also a fun fact about this book was the book that she quote unquote wasn't writing. And so she would hashtag the book I'm not writing.
Yeah.
She's been working on this for a very long time. So if you guys have seen 1,000 Heartbeats in stores, or you've been like, wow, that book is hefty, sheet thick. The reason is because she's been working on this for a very long time. Even when she was supposed to work on other books, she couldn't decide at first if this was going to be 3 separate books or it was going to be a 3-part book. She settled with 3 parts, which I think was perfect. And yeah, I think that's all the fun facts I have about this book. Do you have any other fun facts about this book or Kiera before we get started?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay, sweet. Well, we can get into the plot now, which I'm going to try and remember. It is a 3-part book. But I guess we can start out with so this book is written from 2 different perspectives. There's Lennox and Annika, or Annika. How did you guys say it?
I said Annika.
Yeah, the
Annika?
audiobook said Annika.
Yeah, the
Annika.
audiobook
I
did,
listen to
yeah.
Okay,
But
Annika. So Lennox and Annika. I said Annika. Annika. Goodness gracious. So Annika is the princess of, how did they pronounce the kingdom's name? I'm gonna have to defer to you guys.
Kadir.
Kadir. Okay, so Annika is the princess of Kadir, which is this beautiful, like, successful kingdom that I mean, they're doing great, basically. Her mother disappeared like 3 years prior to when the book starts, and her father has been kind of a dick since then. And he used to not be a dick, so that's sad. I kind of think he's like, what?
That was just funny the way you said it.
But it's true. He's
No,
not
you're right.
much of a dick.
We're agreeing.
I kind of think that he's struggling with some mental illness or possibly PTSD, because he has these weird mood shifts that seem very, very sudden. So I think that, anyways, that was my interest. That was my hypothesis. Watching how his mood shifted so quickly.
Probably.
Yeah. And then she has an older brother who is in line to be king, obviously, whose name is Aeschylus.
Can I just say, immediately I was like, I'm in love with this man.
I should have known. I didn't think about it, but I should have known that you would.
I was
I
like,
should have known.
He embroiders.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
in.
say, was it the embroidery that got you?
It really did get me. I was like, shit.
Is
Done
it?
for.
You're too funny. I thought you were gonna like Rhett.
I did, but
I
I did. I would then became suspicious of him, but I did like him for a lot of it. But
I liked him for like part 1 and like halfway through part 2, and then I was like, I'm disappointed in you, Rhett.
I was like, hot librarian, okay, like he's devoted.
Yeah,
but I knew it wasn't going to work out. So then I was like, oh, she's going to kill him. So then I was trying to distance myself, but then I was like, oh, I don't know,
yeah,
that was my thought process.
Yeah, I can see that for you. Okay, so anyway, so Aeschylus is next in line to be king. He doesn't seem super jazzed about it, to be honest, but he's been training for it. Annika, however, she loves her people so much. I'll give her, this is so interesting to actually see. I feel like a lot of royal characters in books don't, like their love for their people and care for their people is really like the last priority for the writer to communicate to us. It's usually about like some like more specific intrigue or thing going on. But for her, like everything is about her people. So much the fact that we're having a cousin lover scenario again, which Kiera surprised me with.
Seriously, like out of left field, can we not escape it? I was like,
I mean, it was like a far
distant cousin.
Yeah, it was not,
but
definitely
still,
not first cousin.
Well,
she's like cousin Nicholas.
Imagine my shock and horror. I was truly like,
Damn it,
Kiera, seriously.
Oh,
but can we talk about Nicholas for a second? Because I have this in my head the whole time. So like the kingdom basically was formed after like all these clans, 6 clans, like had this whole thing like years ago, and then this like Annika's family like kind of prevailed as like, we're gonna help everyone out, and then they became
bring everyone together, and
but Nicholas's family, which is Annika's family, they like basically, I thought it was so wild that they were like, yeah, our family did murder his whole family and be like, now you have to be in line with us. And I'm like, yeah, I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah, she
Nicholas.
really breezed past that.
Like,
he's kind of fine with it, to be honest. He's not.
He seemed, I guess he didn't know his family, so he's like, okay.
Yeah, if it happened.
He was.
Did it say how old he was when it happened?
I don't know, but both of his parents got executed.
Yeah.
But so he pretty quickly, they said that he really had no problem like swearing allegiance to the Vedette family. Is it, how did they say it? The last name?
Like that.
Oh.
Vedette? Okay, sweet. And so anyway, so her father is making her propose to cousin Nicholas, which is
to dear Nicholas.
And my feelings for this boy just rapidly changed throughout the book, but I never liked him. I'll say that. I never liked him. But my feelings, he does suck. He just sucked in different ways. And I was like, maybe he'll suck less in this way. And then I was like, never mind. So anyways, I think he's very power hungry, and from the start, I think he's extremely entitled. I'll say that never changed. He's been entitled the whole book through.
So true, and I do hate him, but I have to harp on it again. He very much was raised like knowing that this was probably going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't think
100%.
This boy had any friends ever. Had any like anything going on except for like you have to be perfect for the royal family.
Yes,
because you're going to marry family.
Well, maybe not even like you have to be perfect for them. Just like swear allegiance, because you don't even have to be clearly he's not.
No, but like that was his problem though, is that like he was
raised to be completely proper and
protocol and stuff.
Gotcha. So anyway, so that's how he's basically a major stick in the mud at best. The best part about Nicholas is that he's a massive stick in the mud. And so Annika's like, it's true.
Yeah.
So Annika's like, hey, cousin Nick, we're gonna get married, right? You want to get married? And he's like, of course, it would be my honor. And also you have to start wearing your hair up because ladies don't wear their hair down. And then he starts to call her my pet. And I already didn't like him to begin with, but when he said the hair up thing, I was like, I'll kill you. And then he said my pet, and I was like, I'll kill you twice and dance on your grave. This is insane.
I immediately was like, you're dead to me. Tell her to put her hair up one more time. I
swear, cousin Nick.
Cousin Nick, who do you think you are?
Oh God. Anyway, so that's happening, and she's doing it purely for her people because basically it'll solidify kind of their claim. Nicholas is the only one who could possibly kind of in some realm maybe make a claim for the throne, or people could try and like push him to try and make a claim for the throne or whatever. And so this is, you know, like the one thing she can do for her people. And since she's not going to rule, she figures like, this is what I can do to support my brother and my father. And her father is Dick. And I know I've said that before, but we get the sense that something bad has happened between them recently, but we don't really get the details of it until later. So all that is happening. How do you say her maid's name?
Noemi.
Noemi, that's what I thought. So Noemi is her maid, also her bestie, and we love Noemi. How could anybody not? She's an angel of a person. And Aeschylus also loves Noemi. And I'm just saying this right now because I know this we get the reveal later, but I already knew. It was instant.
Bro, I immediately, I was like, oh my God. Well, I didn't know, but I was like, I hope they get together. I didn't know.
I did not pick up on that.
Really?
Until they were in the hallway.
You're like, oh,
I was like, oh, that's it.
He was like,
I support that.
so Aeschylus would like go see Annika and stuff. He's been teaching her sword fighting in secret, which is cool. Rhett teaches her lock picking and also works on sword fighting with her, and also how to pick pockets and stuff, which is just like fun hobbies for a princess. But
I love that for her.
I knew that Aeschylus was into Noemi because he would just show up like from the beginning to see Annika and have all these like flirtatious things to say to Noemi. And I'm like,
Noemi,
no
you look
way.
so pretty today. I was like, boy, you
I did not. I mean, thinking back on it, I'm like, yeah, it was, but like I clearly was like, oh, he's just being nice.
You're like Annika. Annika was like, I didn't see it at all.
He loves his sister. So I'm like, oh, if he loves his sister, he's going to be really nice to anyone that she loves.
Yeah.
I thought that too for the first couple of times. And then I was starting to be like, okay, Kiera, are you planting seeds? Like, I really want them to get together. I didn't think they were already together. I thought they were gonna get together later, but I didn't.
Oh, Katherine, you're just like Annika. You're like, until I see them kissing. It's not.
Pretty much.
And you're like, oh, okay. Yes.
I like it.
I loved how Annika was so. If it had been me, I think I would have been a little more upset. I would have been like, nobody effing told me. Sorry.
Oh, same.
And she was just like, oh, yay, my two favorite people.
I would have had that reaction. I like it. I think I probably would have had the same reaction. Anyway, so that's kind of Annika's world and what's going on in Annika's world. Now over in Lennox's world, things are a lot darker. I will say Lennox is so much darker than I expected. And at first I was like, oh, I didn't expect this from Kiera. I'm not going to like this. Like, this is too dark for me. And then I was like, just kidding. No, it's not. Lennox, I'm in love with you.
No.
Like, pretty quickly.
Yes, but good point, because I thought the same thing. I was like, this is like I can't believe we're getting a Kiera Cass love interest who has murdered countless people. I was like, this is wild, right?
This boy is a murderer.
All of her other love interests are so like sweet boys.
Yeah.
And then this one, he's a sweet boy, but he's also like, I am a mass murderer.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe this is why I was so gripped by this book. I was like, this is the best book I've read my whole life. I want to read it again right away. I have never been so emotionally invested. I was like, I'm here to know what happens to Lennox. And Annika, I mean, she's so badass. I'm in love with both of these characters so much.
I liked Lennox a surprising amount. I was like, really, I wanted him to succeed, even though I was like, this organization
It'd be great if you'd stop killing people, you know?
Yeah, but also then I was like, well, y'all are probably both in the wrong, because I
100%.
Immediately was like, oh, for sure they actually have the right claim to the land. Like at no point was I like, oh no, Annika's kingdom is in the right.
I was like, I don't know who's right here. I'm sure that they're both a little wrong, at least, because history is like that, but I had no idea. So is it Bocino Castle? You guys listen to the audiobook. How do you pronounce the castle with her Allstain?
I don't remember.
Bocino?
Oh, Boston.
Boston.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay, so Lennox and his people stay in it's like this kind of like, they're not exactly ruins, it's just a really dilapidated castle that's been uninhabited. It's from this part of the land that Annika's family has thought has been unclaimed for a very long time. It's not been. It's had Lennox's people, and Lennox's people is largely made up of the original people from Annika's land, so they claim. And also just stragglers, just whoever needs a place basically can like come find them and they take them in, and then they can't leave again because they're trying to like keep their presence there a secret, because they've been slowly building forces to try and invade and take back Kadir, because they say that Kadir used to be called Darrain.
Darrain.
Yeah. Used to be called Darrain. And that was their land, and it was stolen from them by Annika's family, essentially. And that there were 7 clans originally, and their clan was chosen to lead. So that's what they've all been taught and they all believe, but they don't have any written history. It's all oral, so it's very hard for them to prove that they have a claim. So this is the world that Lennox lives in, and Lennox's father was killed doing a commission, which is basically, okay, so let's how to go back into this. How do you say the quote unquote king's name? Kawan, that's what I thought. Okay, so back when
is it with a K?
That's with a K. Yeah. Kawan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I thought it was Kawan, but I just wanted to make sure after I butchered Annika. So Kawan basically came to the house when before Lennox lived at this lavish castle, Vasino. He came to his house in the countryside and found his dad and was like, hey, I'm trying to get all like the old families from Darrain to come join me. We're going to take back our land. I want you to come join me or whatever. And so Lennox, his dad and his mom all moved to the dilapidated castle. There's a bunch of forces, like I said, amassing there. And Lennox kind of becomes Kawan's, he does all his dirty work. He's like the right-hand man without any of the respect at all.
Hold on. I have a question, but I don't want to say it right now. But I'm gonna forget it later, so I'm gonna write it down.
Okay. All right. Question, but I don't want to say it.
Well, okay.
Wait.
I know.
Oh, okay.
This page. Or this one. There you go.
I can just write it on my hand too.
No, it's
Here,
fine.
I'll do that. Okay, continue.
No, you're good. You're good. And so basically Kawan sends people out on these things called commissions, and this is how he tests them to see basically how loyal they are to him and what they're willing to give up for the cause. So he sends, when Lennox is younger, he sends Lennox's father on a commission, and it's like a really intense commission it's basically sabotage, to go to the castle in Kadir, and we don't know exactly what Kadir's story is. That this man showed up to Jago, how do they say his name?
Jago.
I
think.
Jago.
Yeah.
So Jago is Lennox's father. That Jago showed up to assassinate the king, and he was supposed to be killed in this horrible way. And then the Queen Evelina, who is Annika's missing mother, had stopped it, and we learn later that she had he was still killed. He was beheaded, and his body was sent back in a wagon to wherever they found him. Which was rough, and Lennox is still very haunted by that. But it could have been a lot worse, which he learns later. Like, it could have been a much worse death, but still, it's death. And that's kind of like a lot of the themes in this book was like, heroes like, I'm gonna pull my punches, but not really pull my punches at all.
Reel it back a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna redeem my characters by saying it could have been worse.
yeah,
at least
exactly.
I feel bad about it. Like,
at least it wasn't like tortured to death. It was a quick death. She uses that a lot, and like it was a sense of mercy. The characters are like, oh, that's true, and I'm like, I guess that's true. It is true. But yeah, it's just the whole book is a lot darker than her other books. I really, really, really liked it.
I liked how it felt very action packed to me. There's lots of even there's military stuff going on. It's there's a little bit of that in selection even, and
she gets shot.
She gets shot.
She has to hide that was another thing I noticed. She has to run away from enemies and hide in the woods. I was like, I think I've seen this scene before.
I think I've seen that tree. That's funny. So that there's some of that as well. But Lennox's people have become largely militaristic, and because Kawan is basically more of a military leader than a king, because he is not going to officially call himself king until he's back in Darrain. But he says, it's my kingdom, I'm taking back my kingdom. And Lennox's mom has basically become Kawan's mistress, which is so infuriating.
Okay, Hamlet. I hate that.
Hamlet.
When they
let it out.
It made, I get for the plot, I get why, but I was like, what woman?
I know.
I was like, this is so bizarre to me, especially because, it goes with the question I'll ask later. So, okay. But that was just weird to me.
I know.
Yeah, she was upsetting me the whole book, because Lennox is doing his best here, and I know that he has a kinder heart than this society is letting him utilize. And it was
Yep.
pissing me off that like
Yep.
his mom wasn't doing anything. Kawan
Nope.
is like over here like, you suck.
And because like, I guess okay, let me try and put my thoughts into words.
All right.
Kawan sent Lennox's dad on this mission,
Mhm.
knowing that it would probably get him killed.
Mhm.
And then Lennox's mom marries the guy that essentially
Yes.
sent
Mhm.
her husband to be killed.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep. Yeah.
It's Hamlet.
Doesn't
It's
even,
literally
doesn't even
Hamlet.
marry. Yeah, exactly. Except doesn't even marry him. She's not even, there's no promise that she's going to be the queen. He's just using her
Yeah,
to keep Lennox close because he needs to use Lennox and keep an eye on Lennox. And for other reasons that we'll learn later in the book, he has some other secret reasons he wants to keep an eye on Lennox. So he's just
that's
using
part of
her.
what my questions about.
Gotcha.
That's why I wrote it. I was like, I'm gonna say that.
You're gonna forget it, yeah.
For later.
So that's rough. The relationship between Lennox and his mom, especially at the beginning, just seems very cold. But she'll literally like watch Kawan like hit him and not do anything, which is I can't fathom. That's horrible.
Pissing me off.
So she is at very best for most of this book extremely neglectful at best. So that's that, and that's not great. But basically, the only way Lennox has learned to survive is by becoming feared and important to the cause. Can I help you, students? What's going
I
on?
just can't believe how dark it is. Like,
I'm gonna bring out the one.
I need to go get the wine. Yeah,
she's getting it. This boy, like, oh
I
my
do have to say for our
God.
listeners, it's 11:30 in the morning. But you know what? There's no time. Why not? You know, why not?
I just feel that, oh my God, this boy, I could not believe it when it opened up and I was like, okay, so he's just murdered some people for deserting. Okay,
Yeah,
not
he's like
great.
wiping blood off his face and he's going to see Kawan.
And
he's
then,
like, hey, I killed those deserters. And Kawan's like, and he's like,
yeah.
you're welcome. That's what.
Like, thanks. I'm sorry that I'm not good enough for you. But then, I mean, pretty quickly, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to deal with the fact that this boy murdered Annika's mom. Like, you know?
Yes. Spoiler. But yes. So Lennox, not only, he's basically survived in this really rough community and a really rough place in it because of Kawan and how Kawan treats him by becoming feared by basically when anyone needs to be executed, he's like, I'll do it. And so he's known for like, he'll kill people without a second thought. I mean, he definitely has second thoughts. He's deeply haunted by it, but nobody can tell. He keeps it very much on lockdown. So that's going on. But we do find out that so Queen Evelina, Annika's mom, is not missing. She was killed. She was beheaded by Lennox.
I thought when she was like, she just disappeared and there was no body. I was sure at the beginning that she was gonna show up.
Yeah,
I thought so
she's
too.
alive.
Me too.
I thought so
No.
too.
She wasn't.
And as soon as
realistic.
Lennox started talking to Mysterious Grave, I was like, oh God, this is not good.
I did not get it. I was like, who is he talking to?
I was so upset. And you know what? This is the power of Kiera because I never would forgive a boy for this normally. And I kind of am still mad at him, but like I've discovered, you know, I never like the boys who were I have a hard time with enemies to lovers sometimes if the enemies are there's too much there, you know, and this to me would normally qualify under that. But I think like when you can get their perspective, like their POV, it helps a little bit because I'm like, he feels really bad, you know.
Yeah. Well, you have to know
a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, he's what, 18 or 19? He's like 19, I think. So he was like 16, like he was a kid. So it's not like he did it because he wanted to. Also, that was the first person he killed. So he didn't want to do it by any means. It's not like he had like it's not like he was going out and murdering people because he likes to murder people, you know? So there is a bit of a differentiation there, but he does, I mean, that's how he survives is by he's the one who's willing to kill people basically.
Right.
So that's rough. He's pretty dark. He's pretty deeply unhappy. He has no friends right now at all. Except for a fox. He has a little fox named Thistle.
He's friends with Blythe.
Yeah, well,
Later.
he gets friends.
Yeah, he gets friends.
They were
no, because he was like
he knew that she existed.
He knew about her,
knew
but like
her,
they weren't close. Yeah, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, his Thistle is so cute. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe she gave this boy a pet fox. I'm going to lose my shit.
Okay,
she had to
back
soften him a little bit.
meetings of Kiera Cass. I posted something one time on, I don't even remember what it, Tumblr, Twitter, about like, OMG, what if Maxon had a dog? And she commented on it, and she said that it was like an idea that she had at one point.
Yeah, she talked about it at the Q&A too. Yeah.
Maxon should have had a dog.
Right?
It would have been so cute.
I guess she's doing it now, given.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I thought about the Q&A and how she said that about Maxon's dog, and I was like, she did it. She basically did it. But Thistle is still wild, so Thistle's this fox who like comes and goes, but it's cute because it does soften him. And also, if it weren't for having some kind of living, breathing creature for him to interact to, we would only have him talking to Graves, so we wouldn't really have, we wouldn't really get to see like the sweeter side of him. So that's what's going on. And basically, what to say, he gets given, it's time for his commission, which is he at first he's like, hooray, I can finally prove myself, and then what it turns out is
sorry, Dicey's going insane.
No, you're good. Hi, Jucifer.
Can you hear all her noise?
She's got the zoomies.
Okay, sorry, go ahead, Ash. Sorry to interrupt. I thought
no,
you
you're
could have
good.
heard on the mic.
Hello, Jucifer. Oh my God, I wish I could shake my green screens on. Ruby is laying on her back with all her feet in the air and she's asleep.
Oh, baby girl.
Loves to sleep, just completely on her back. It's so funny. Oh, she's so cute. Anyways, that was fun. That was Pet Corner, you guys. There'll be more Pet Corners. This is just it's like a hexagon of Pet Corners every episode.
She'll dive into me in the bed. Where like if I'm laying down, she'll go nose first into my back and like slide up right next to me and try and push me.
Oh my God.
That's so cute. I love that. That's hysterical.
We call her a little bridge troll because we picked her up off the side of the road on a bridge. And she has these little goblin ears.
Yeah.
So we joked that before we picked her up, she used to live under the bridge, tell riddles and collect coins.
That's so cute.
That's so precious. I call Ruby my truffle pig because she is. I was literally like, what are all these weird like kind of holes in the head and the ground everywhere? She will snuffle her little nose into the ground and look for like acorns and shit to eat, which drives me crazy because it hurts her stomach. But she is just. We have to watch her so close when she's outside because
so tasty.
Apparently acorns, pecans, sticks, plastic, anything crunchy, she's like, plastic? I have to put it in my mouth. And she will nose through stuff and like leave weird little nose holes everywhere. So she's very
her favorite toys are garbage.
Yep.
Like cardboard.
Yes.
She shreds it up like little confetti and then we'll pick it up and kind of sprinkle it over her. Loses her mind.
That's hysterical.
Like old milk jugs. Loves them.
Yep.
Just like paper bags.
Yep.
Favorite thing ever.
Yeah. I
have she loves garbage.
Garbage dog.
Yep. I gave Ruby a big piece of cardboard and it's what I've been letting her play with for days because she will play with her actual toys, but like not when I need her to. When I need her to be focused on something that's not me, she's like, absolutely not. I only want you. And I'm like, or you could have some trash. And she's like, trash is a great substitute for you. She makes me feel great about myself. I think trash. I'll take trash instead of mom. Oh God. Anyways, so Lennox gets his commission. Immediately Kawan is sabotaging him. He basically someone else has just come back from their commission too, and they brought back like 6 cows. And this guy is like, his name's Aldrich. He honestly, like Kawan makes it kind of seem like he's gonna make him the second in command, even though Aldrich has like no brain. But that's probably why. And so anyways, Lennox is kind of annoyed by all of that. He gets assigned to these random people, some of which do not like him, some of which have no skill, some of these people are complete strangers. And he basically is told like, okay, go do your commission. So he's got to figure out what he's gonna do. And he gets this ragtag group together. I don't know if I'm gonna remember everyone's name who's in it.
I loved this though. I was like, I love a ragtag group.
I know you
did. Was so exciting from the get-go, you know.
Everything in me was like, ugh, a group activity. I hated it so much. And then it was fine and it needed to happen, especially for the plot, it needed to happen. And it was good for Lennox as well. But inside my heart was like I understood Lennox's like frustration and his pain. I was like, I feel exactly
the same. He finally made some friends though. So that's
but at what cost? You know?
Well, You know, it all worked out in the end, I suppose.
I guess not for everyone.
Well,
For some people. Yeah, so Blythe is one of the people on the team. It's this girl. She's a pretty fierce warrior. Her iconic line is, "I do not fail." So she doesn't. And Blythe very obviously has a crush on Lennox and probably has for a while. He doesn't really know. He definitely does not know that yet. Yes.
Can I say that I knew immediately Inigo was in love with Blythe?
You knew?
I knew immediately.
I didn't.
I was like, I'm clocking this, Kiera. I'm clocking it. And then I was
did
like,
not
waiting
notice.
for the payoff.
What made you?
And
he was like,
nice
she's very
her,
skilled.
right?
And then he was like, oh, I'll work with Blythe. And it was like that kind of stuff kept coming up. And I was like, I see you.
You were subtle, but you didn't get that Aeschylus was into Noemi when he was like, your hair is beautiful today, Noemi. Here, I brought you some raisin cake.
When he brought her flowers, that was so cute.
Well, but it was, yeah, I mean, the way that he said it, he was trying to play it off like, oh, she does everything for you, my lovely sister. I'm gonna say thanks.
You and Annika were on the same page. You were like, that is so nice.
Yeah.
Guys are not that nice for no reason, even the sweet ones. No
yes,
way.
He is.
No, guys are not that nice for no reason. That's not even the nice ones.
Clearly they're not, because
I guess
he had ulterior motives.
I guess he did.
Anyways, so Inigo is another one of the guys, and Inigo's got this big scar on his face from when he and Lennox got into a fight. And so these boys, they're kind of rivals. They do not like each other, and that was part of why Kawan put him on the team, because he was like, no one's gonna follow Lennox. I'm gonna make him a team that will not follow him, was Kawan's thinking.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, but Inigo, actually, I thought there'd be more tension between them, but really right away, Inigo and Lennox were both like, no hard feelings, bruh. And it's like, okay, I did not expect that to be so easy. So they're kind of fine. And he goes like, I kind of hate Kawan also, so either way, whatever. And he also something like, I'm not gonna fail. So just because I don't like you doesn't mean I'm not gonna help you. So that's
I liked it. They were pretty immediately like, no, we're just gonna do it.
We're just gonna do it. Yeah.
Lennox is like, really? Thank God.
I know, he was like, wow, this is going way better than I thought. There's this guy named Griffin who is
Griffin. I couldn't remember his name. I knew it started with a G.
Yeah.
Griffin. But Griffin, actually, Lennox basically, he kind of hears through the gossip mill that Griffin has a girlfriend and he's saying goodbye to her. And he tells Griffin, you can't come with me. I need you to stay and take care of things here. And Griffin's like, what? And he's like, I need you to stay and take care of things here. Wink. So you can stay with your girl. Which I was like, Lennox, oh my God, you're such a good leader. Lennox, I love you. I forgive you for everything immediately. Anyways, I thought it was very sweet of him. See who else is on his team. There's like 2 other people, right?
Sherwin,
who he has no idea. He's never
that was
Sherwin.
So funny how he kept being like, he was like, well, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah, there's Sherwin. I think there's one other, but basically that's Lennox's crew. And he's like, here's the plan, you guys. We're gonna go steal the crown of Kadir. And they're like, we're gonna do what? And he's like, because I'm gonna finally prove myself once and for all. Because if I can get us into Kadir and out of Kadir, then Kawan will see that we can take over, I can take us there. And so this is his plan, which is a great plan, except that Kawan would never ever let him do that. But Lennox does not yet quite know why. And so back over in Annika's world, in Kadir, Annika is having to make nice with cousin Nick. And so she's got to go out riding with cousin Nicholas to show face to the countryside people.
I think it's to like meet all the elders and like announce the engagement.
Yeah, exactly. So the engagement has been announced like to the people, but now they have to go like show face with all like the elders and stuff. And so they're riding out together, but when they're out, they get ambushed by by Lennox and his crew.
They're boys.
And
how convenient.
I know, it was very
convenient.
Don't even hardly get into Kadir. The princess?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. And they still effed it up. That was the best part.
It really was.
Silver platter, really.
Yeah.
It really was, yeah. So, I mean, they had guards with them too, but like Lennox and his crew are pretty skilled. I mean, it's a whole people. All the men and women have to fight and they wear uniforms all the time. Like their community is, quote unquote, community. Their people are, I mean, very fierce fighters. Like, because Kadir's had, I mean, it's been peaceful for like 150 years.
Like what, 5 guards or something?
Yeah, they should have probably taken more.
3 guards took like the
Yeah, they like
the like suicide pill or whatever, so that they wouldn't
Yeah.
get tortured for information. And then I think there was one more.
That got killed, I think.
And then
Nicholas got knocked
I'm
out.
saying 5, just
Yeah,
in
it
case
was
I'm
like
missing a
Just in case
guard.
you missed
But
one, yeah. And I do think that Aeschylus and her dad were like, don't you need to take more guards? And she was like, no, we've got guards and I've got
Yeah.
Nick, so I think
Yeah.
we'll be fine.
and like
So-
Aeschylus offered to go, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'll be fine."
Oh, yeah.
it was not fine.
It was
And
not
then
fine.
Nicholas just
He just pieced out.
out.
He didn't
Yeah, so
even-
here's the thing about cousin Nick. As the
Mm-mm.
second they
little
got attacked,
weenie.
yeah, he turned tail and ran. And he later says that he just thought that he had to get the news to the castle right away
Yeah.
that they were invaders. And I was like, I don't believe
That is
you.
on that.
not a good excuse. You
Not
know,
even
like
a little bit. He literally didn't even look back to see if she was
No.
there.
and
and
the
so-
second that he got knocked out, Annika went to see how he was.
Yeah,
And she shouldn't have. She should have kept running, man.
well, but she's a good person.
Yeah,
So
she is.
yeah, so she went and so basically they get ambushed, they knock Nick out, the 3 guards take their suicide pills, which is sad and horrible. A guard gets killed, and then there might be another guard doing something, but they're also incapacitated if there was another guard. So Nick's unconscious. She grabs his sword, I believe. And then she turns around to fight Lennox, and Lennox is like, oh, this is gonna be easy. Like, this girl's got like flowers in her hair, she's wearing like a princessy dress, like this is gonna be easy. And he's like surprised that she's actually a really good fighter. And they fight for a while, but I mean, he's Lennox and this is what he does. So she slashes him across the chest, he slashes her arm, and then he's about to kill her, but he realizes that she looks awfully familiar. Looks like Queen Evelina, who he killed.
And I think one of the guards, like as
Says
they're
Your
fighting, I think
Majesty or
is
something.
yeah, the
Yeah,
guards
Your
are like,
Highness.
sorry, Your Majesty,
Yeah.
and then they all take the pill.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's
When
like,
he said that, I was
"Ooh."
like, you idiot. I was like,
I
why would
know.
you say
Yeah.
that?
I know. And
Well,
so
I mean, they'd kill her otherwise. Well, probably.
Oh, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
possibly, yeah. And so anyway, so they're like, this is even better than the crown, let's take the princess back with us. So they take Annika back to Dalrain. Lennox is actually like, I'm not nice to her, but like Blythe thinks that he's being way too gentle with her. And he's kind of like in awe of her from the beginning, to be honest. Blythe hates her guts, probably because she can see that Lennox is being nicer to Annika than he even is to Blythe. Not because he's mean to Blythe, he's just not really nice to people openly. So she's very, very jealous. So he takes the princess back. He's like, what up, Kwan? Suck on this. I got their princess. And Kwan's like, you still suck. Go interrogate her. And he's like, fine. Blythe, take her to the dungeon or whatever. And so Blythe takes her down there and they get in like a little tiff because Blythe's being really bitchy. And then she slaps her for no good reason. And I was like, whatever, get out. And so then Blythe leaves
I mean,
and
it's not no good reason. There's a reason.
it's not a good reason.
I mean, it's a fair reason.
Is it?
So mad. I was like, Blythe, this is like so embarrassing for you, honestly. Like, just random woman you never met before.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lennox goes down to interrogate her, and he's basically just like, if I can figure out what she cares about the most, I can manipulate her into telling me the truth. Like, it's not like he takes joy in hurting people. He really doesn't want to have to hurt her. He would rather her just, tell him things. So she kind of fakes it, and he says, I can tell you stuff about your mom. And she's like, my mom has been missing for 3 years. He's like, yeah, I can tell you things about her, but you have to trade information with me. And so she lies and makes up some information about like how many soldiers work in the castle and when, but she does it so smoothly, he thinks it's real information. And so then he basically admits that he's the one who killed her, or he admits that later, I forget. But he tells her all the stuff I already said about their interaction. He says a lot of it. He does not say that he deeply regrets it. He does not say that Queen Evelina basically still haunts him or that he still talks to her grave, because she was basically the first person in like years to be nice to him, and he had to kill her, and it was horrible. And so she's kind of become like almost like a mythical goddess figure to him. Like, he talks to her a lot, and he thinks like she's just like the bee's knees and like the most amazing person who ever existed. So he also has a little bit of that residual off for Annika just right away because they're related, and also because she has a lot of her mother's like air of dignity. And so she just seems very calm and together. And Annika's very good at like being diplomatic, forcing a smile, all that stuff that she gets from her mom. And so he leaves her there in the dungeon, and he's like, I'm gonna let you think about this and come back, and I can tell you how your mother died and where she is, because she's like, where's my mom? I just want to see her grave or whatever. And so he leaves. She has figured out, because she can pick locks, she takes a pin out of her hair and she picks the lock on her cuffs. She wiggles the bar like off the window because it's a falling down castle. I mean, and she's can take off her outer dress and get through the window. and she is on the run, booking it in her like ship in the freezing cold. She's running through the forest. Blythe is the one who early the next morning finds out that she's gone. Tells Kawan. I'm also like, why didn't you tell Lennox first? Because she was being bitchy. That's why.
Yeah.
This was vindictive.
Which
Blythe was
also,
vindictive from the start.
can I just say, if it's so, like, they were describing Boston as like the super, like, I don't know, tundra-y place. Like, they were saying it's so cold, but then she gets back to Kadir in 12 hours at most, and it's like warm and lush and super like I don't know, that's a very quick change. If on foot you're going for a day,
I like Falling Kingdoms.
That's what I was thinking.
Falling Kingdoms map. Yeah,
I kept wondering, like, how far away are these countries actually, because it feels like you can walk there.
I had a couple of Falling Kingdoms moments where I was like, okay, this exact thing, like, and
I loved
bring it up when we talk about it. But I was like,
a little bit like he captured Annika. They had chemistry, and then she escapes. Not to spoiler, but that also happens in Falling Kingdoms. So I was, and I loved Falling Kingdoms, so I was there for it. I was all here for all of this. Anyway, so she escapes. She's freezing. He's like, listen, she's probably gonna either starve to death or she's gonna freeze to death. It's freezing out there. She doesn't know the area, and her people have largely not crossed that forest because they don't know of anyone who's come back alive. Like, his people know that forest and how to get through it and back. Her people do not. For some reason, it's really, really hard to navigate through this forest. And so she's in there, she's lost. Kawan, berates Lennox, and Lennox takes his team to go look for her. But he's already kind of like enchanted by her. He ends up seeing her where she's hidden and then sending.
Yeah.
What?
I was enchanted.
Cute Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, truly though, absolutely. And so he sends his guys the other way, and he quote unquote drops his cloak, his water skin, and some food, and he leaves, like as if he didn't see her. And he basically leads them away. He points her in the right direction, and he leads them in the opposite direction. And they get back, and he's basically like, didn't find her, she's probably dead. And they're like, great. And Kwan's like, awesome, Lennox, you messed it up just like you mess everything up. And I'm like, shut up, Kwan.
He literally brought the princess to your little castle.
I know, you're the one who lost her. Like,
yeah, it's awful. It's so stupid. And so Annika gets back, and they're like, oh my god, where are you at?
Are you saying like, sorry, wait.
What?
Because I also was like, okay, this does suck, because now they do know where y'all are, that you exist, everything. It was kind of a fuck up. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing. He's like, now they know we exist. This is all your fault, Lennox. So
I mean, fair.
Yeah, it's true. So anyways, hang on. Ash goldfish brain. There we go. So she's back in Kadir, trying to make peace with Nicholas. She's kind of had it. She's been through a lot lately. She goes to breakfast with them, and she puts them all in their place pretty quickly. She's like, I'm done messing around with you guys. Aeschylus, I'm here for what you need. Dad, if you try and force me to do anything, it's gonna go badly. And he's like, well, you remember what happened last time we fought? We get another hint about that. And she's like, yeah, and it was bad, wasn't it? And he's like, because he's like, doesn't know what to say. And she's like, and Nicholas, if you call me my pet one more time, I'm gonna jam that fork down your throat. And also, you can't tell me what to do with my hair. I'm in charge here. I am your sovereign. I tell you what to do. And he's like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like,
oh my god, I love that. I was eating it up.
I was too. I was so here for it. And so after this, Nicholas really does behave himself for a while. He hates being called Nick, by the way. I forgot to say that, which is why calling him cousin Nick is fun for me. He hates it. He refuses to be called Nick. But he gets a lot better after this. He tries to be like supportive and stuff. And he's like, I was just being who I was raised to be, who I thought I had to be for you. But whatever you want, I'll do for you. Annika, I really want to make this work. And she's like, oh, maybe we'll come to respect each other over time, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't buying that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want them to get together, and I was still very mad at him, but I was like, maybe you can change and go be better somewhere else. Like, I was
hoping, like, how in Fallen Kingdoms, all of a sudden she's like, I love Theon. Yeah. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he turned like kind of nice, I was like, this better not. Kiera, I swear to God.
I know.
Planning here.
She was toying with us. she was toying with us, but I can understand how, from Annika's perspective, she was like, okay, like we're never going to be in love, but my parents had an arranged marriage and they were in love, so maybe I could hope for Nicholas and I to be like on friendly terms at some point if he keeps behaving like this. So she's like, I still super don't want to marry him, but if I have to, I'm glad he's being decent right now, so we can have like a not horrible relationship. And so she tells them about what she learned about the people of Darrain, and she says that they claim to be from the seventh clan, and they're like, that's not a real thing. And so she's looking in the library, and Rhett's like, I don't see anything in these books about that. And so she's like, no, I'm still pretty sure that we're right, and that Darrain's not a real country. And so, but she can't stop thinking about Lennox because she still sleeps with his cloak, and she's like, why did he let me go? But he killed my mother.
Okay, also
insane behavior.
Another like Theon thing where I was like, what, all of a sudden you slept for all these years by yourself, and now you for some reason need the cloak of your captor. Like I just could not get on board with
I liked it. I could get on board with that.
It's more of a Jonas Cleo thing, honestly, where she's like, wait, he's so hot.
I mean, yes, but also just like the suddenness.
The suddenness.
Like
it was sudden, but he did save her life.
I didn't have enough time to get attached to Lennox by that point. You know, like the development of the character, I was like, I'm not on board with Lennox quite yet. And now for some reason she's like in love with Lennox. Like
she hasn't like admitted it yet.
She's like, yeah.
I mean,
we all know.
I was at this point of the story kind of like, okay, I know that I like both of you, but it's wild that we're this far into it and y'all haven't really gotten like, because normally there's a lot of build, but it's a long book. Like I was just waiting for like, okay, when are they gonna like meet each other again? Because then I was
waiting for the cave scene because Kiera.
That's what I was waiting for.
Which even still, I think I needed more interaction between the two of them because they had met twice before.
But then they were stuck there.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
Stuck there for that long. I was like, it's like 3 days at most. 3 days. Like that's like not enough time.
It was some drama though.
I don't know.
You know what? It's about the ground you cover. I always say this. It's not about how long you've been together. It's about the ground you cover.
It's about the ground.
They covered everything. Like, spoiler for the cave scene that we'll get to, but they literally were like, what if I tell you all my secrets, because I'm going to kill you in the morning anyways. They're like, yeah, I'm going to kill you. So they literally were like, here are all my deepest darkest secrets. And I was like, well, you guys covered everything. I guess you can get married now. You're fine. You've been over all of it. You can't surprise each other anymore.
But I did think you just have to, like, they clearly have some chemistry that I think is like maybe doing more work than like actually knowing each other, you know?
Yeah.
Like they have
I mean, sure. I don't know. It just all happened so fast. I was like, oh, all of a sudden you're in love with each other. I mean,
I loved it.
I didn't see that happen, but okay.
I loved it. I was here for it. Anyway, so basically, also we find out that Rhett is super in love with Annika, and he's like, run away with me. And she's like, no, thank you though, friend. And he's like, cool, I'll be here for you forever. But also anyone who wants you is my enemy. And it's like, Rhett, that's a little much.
But he wasn't being weird yet, though. I felt like he was still being sweet about it.
But he was still like upset about Nick.
He wasn't upset about Nick, but everybody.
So was Aeschylus.
Okay, yes, everybody hates Nick because Nick is a terrible person.
Yeah,
but also like just because you love Annika doesn't mean that she owes you anything.
It's true.
Rhett also felt very like in a different entitled, but also felt
he was entitled to her affection.
Yeah, but like he. I think his actions, yes, but the way he was talking was more like. Yeah, you know, I'll always be here for you. Like, I know you probably don't love me back.
I don't know. It felt very like whiny, red flaggy.
I was very uncomfortable.
It wasn't going to be that way.
Yes, exactly. I was extremely uncomfortable. I was hoping that he would stand by what he said, that he would always be there for her and not be a dick, basically. And then things did not go that way when it came to actions. So that was upsetting.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
Librarian.
Yeah.
I was purely rooting for him for you, Kendall, because I was like, I don't care about
librarian who knows how to pick locks and like
pick pockets. I know.
Yeah,
I know. I know you wanted it, and I knew that you would like it. So
is a little man who feels entitled to
any
woman.
Yeah,
it's so fun. So. Basically, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Aeschylus is the only man. Although I have problems with him too, actually.
I know, as you should.
I got mad at him at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
So basically, head off any, invasion by the Durranians of Kadir, her dad, Annika's dad, gets like, oh, you know what, we'll just go meet them. We're gonna have we'll make a peace treaty. We'll talk things over. I'll bring them some gifts, and everyone's gonna come with me. And I'm like, are you in? This is why I was like, this man has a traumatic brain injury or something. Like, he's not reasoning correctly.
Was he
I don't mean that in a mean way.
That?
No, he was. So here's the thing. So this is what he told Annika and Aeschylus and his people. And this is what he sent these messengers over to Durain to say, or to the Durranians to say. What he was planning from the beginning was to attack them. He brought soldiers, not presents. So that was what he was planning. But he brought his only heirs with him. Why would he do? I'm like, this is why I'm saying this man is not. Kawan is foolish and has a history of making horrible decisions. Her dad doesn't, which is why I think a mental illness or maybe a traumatic brain injury. This is not me in any way trying to be mean. He's struggling with something here. This reasoning is so weird, especially because one day he'll go from being a really good king to the next day he's making the weirdest decisions that do not make sense. Yeah. And Annika makes Nick promise. She's like, you can see that sometimes my dad makes these really, really weird decisions. If you see him do that, I need you to be there to protect him because you cannot trust him right now. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah. So because I also was like, okay, I was trying to figure out if he was actually planning on just like talking to them or if they were doing it. But then as soon as they fired, I was like, oh my God. And seriously, both the prince and the princess on this ship as well. I was so upset.
Yeah, it was so done. And Noemi, because she knew that Noemi would want to go. Annika at this point knows that Noemi and Aeschylus are together, and so she saw them kissing, and so she's like, I know if I was Noemi, having to wait at home to see what happens would be worse, so I'm going to have her come with us, but we're going to dress her like a lady so that they don't, think she's expendable. And so they go, the fight starts. Annika and Aeschylus had no idea this was going to happen. Lennox and Kawan had also, so Kawan thought this was going to be a peaceful thing, and Kawan was like, we're going to bring soldiers anyway. So they were miraculously kind of just had soldiers with them because he was just going to be a dick anyways. But Lennox sees her on basically there's a little bit of a fight on the water. Griffin's girlfriend dies, so that's sad. She gets shot.
And so the king also like sent people ahead to tell them like, meet us here for a peaceful interaction.
Yeah, so that's how they know. Yeah.
He promised Kawan like, oh, there's no way that the king would bring his children because they're his heirs. Like his heirs. He's not going to bring them to a potential, a dangerous.
So stupid. So dumb. And then they both take a couple.
Annika's not going to be there.
Exactly. So they take a couple losses. They end up turning it into a land battle, and they all go onto the island, but they're on kind of opposite sides. So they have to trek together to meet on the battlefield. And immediately Lennox sees Annika. Annika sees Lennox. The battle starts, and she just races after him, and he takes off. And then out of nowhere, it's a hurricane. And then they're like, oh, we must.
And Aeschylus gets shot.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're moving on to the cave scene. It's just
okay, just why?
Yes,
I need some more explanation on the hurricane. Like, where did that come from?
Well,
that's so bizarre to me. Like, I don't know. I need some mythical god to be the reasoning behind this.
It was
conveniently timed 3-day hurricane.
It was.
She was like, I need y'all to hang out more.
Spit on your screen.
Oh, it's fine. Well, she saw the storm clouds.
They saw the storm clouds. Yeah.
She can come in pretty fast.
I mean, it just seemed awfully fast and like an awfully long hurricane.
It was long.
Well, yeah, that's true. It was more of the torrential rain, but I will say, because I kept thinking at first, I was like, this isn't realistic. And then I thought, what am I thinking, Ash? Like when I lived in Galveston, we had a hurricane, and then the torrential rain lasted for weeks because the school I worked at was shut down for weeks because it was like cars were still underwater weeks later because the rain wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it was that kind of
I guess they didn't have like weather.com.
Yeah, they probably had no idea what was going to happen with the weather.
I do say I think that the lack of losses they had, considering the torrential downpour after a hurricane, was shocking. I think almost everybody should have died in that situation. So I do think that was unrealistic, but I don't care. I'll take it anyways.
And how every single person that she saw afterward was like, "Oh, we found some trees to hide under."
That wouldn't have helped you.
We built a little shed.
I thought. I thought for sure Aeschylus was dead. I was
Yeah.
so upset the whole time.
I thought Aeschylus was gonna die. He
He
gets
got shot,
yeah.
and then there was a hurricane. I was like,
Yeah.
that boy is dead.
No way.
I should say, so she chased Lennox into the like kind of like a jungly type forest because there are just like 100 million different ecosystems, and I'm loving it. I'm here for it. But so she's on horseback, so she has to jump off because he goes into this like copse of plants that's too tight to get the horse through. So she jumps off. They have a really great sword fight. Then the hurricane comes, and they end up having to run together towards this cave. And she falls, and he helps her up and helps her run into the cave. So he's like, doesn't really want her to die, to be honest. Like, we all know at this point, like, neither one of these people is going to kill the other one, but they still think that they're going to kill the other one. So they get in there in time. They literally hold each other down so the hurricane sweeping through the cave doesn't drag them both back out. It's adorable. And then we get a torrential downpour for like 3 days, and they can't fight in the cave because it's too narrow to like really even draw their swords. So they're like, truce for until the rain stops. And they're like, yeah, I still hate you though. Yeah, I still hate you though. Although I still sleep with your cloak. You know, that weirdness. And he's like, I see you in my dreams,
There were some
Annika.
lines in this that for me were so cringy.
No.
What? Okay, look. I love Kiera
I'm in
Cass.
shock right
I
now
love
that it
her
wasn't me.
one-liners. It's
This was me in the
because
selection.
of the,
Wow.
the time period. Like you've known this woman for less than 24 hours and you're telling her like the most cheesy lines. Like
I loved it.
You wish they had known each
the
other
lock
longer.
of hair
The lock of
literally
hair.
made me
That
wanna
boy
throw up.
he was.
What? I'm in
I was
so
like,
much
why
shock
does this
right
guy
now.
keep a lock of
Oh my
this girl's
God.
hair with him at all times, and like he's like infatuated with this lock of hair.
No,
But
he's
he
not.
was keeping her in prison.
He's infatuated with her, but not because she
okay,
reminds
sure.
him of the
Expressed
woman
through a
that
lock of
he.
hair.
Yes, it's also it's weird because his thing with Annika goes a lot deeper than just like, oh, I met her once and I kidnapped her, you know, like because she so much represents the woman that he had to kill, who was really nice to him and that he deeply regrets. So part of it is that, and then also he reminds her of
Sure.
this little girl because guess what? And I'm
Oh
gonna
my
spoil it
God.
now. So once upon
This
a
killed me.
time, when Annika and her mom were out in the country on a horseback ride, they stopped at this like little like cottage, and this little boy said something like, "You're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen," and she was like, "I know," basically, which was adorable. And so
that was cute. Yeah, I like
it was very
Mhm.
cute.
Mhm.
So
The boy with the
Annika-
apple.
the boy with the apple, he had an apple.
Boy with the bread.
Who I guess like Aeschylus knew about the apple story.
Yeah, she
No one
told
knew
it all
about
the
it.
time.
Yeah, because she would always say, "I've never been in love except for maybe with that boy,"
With the
which is
apple
so
boy.
cute. With the
Apple
apple
Okay,
boy.
like that was
Adorable.
cute. I liked that part.
I'll concede the
But
apple.
like also it was a 2-second interaction.
Mhm.
I'm
And
just
now he's in a
saying.
cave confessing that he loves this girl.
But
I'm
it
just
shows-
saying,
known her
it's
for
not
just
as if
faded.
Yeah. And also shows that maybe they had each other in some way, at least in the back of their mind, as she did. I mean, she thought she was in love with Apple Boy, and he remembered her as the pretty little girl. And then the whole Queen Evelina thing. And so they haven't been completely zero contact their entire lives. I do get what you're saying, but I mean, there is a little bit of background there. Not a lot. And
Yeah,
for
I
most people,
needed
probably
more.
not enough. I see that.
I needed a lot. Like in the selection before Max and in America like actually get together. There's so much
They're friends.
back and forth. They're friends. There's so much more build up. And,
God, I love
here
it.
there was just a lot. Like I needed more build up.
Mhm.
I
I
could
did
get along
not.
with it eventually.
See,
I was
I am
into it, but I
not.
see what you're
more.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm not really a friends to lovers type person. That's not really my super vibe. A lot of those books, I'm like, this is boring, or no one is this nice. Friends are always so nice to each other first. I'm like, no one. This is boring. Get out.
I'm
So-
shocked that I was this into an enemies to lovers
Mhm.
quick turnaround
Yeah.
romance. Like
Yeah,
this is
it
not
was
my
just- it
vibe.
was too
usually.
And I just see, and I didn't think it was the quickest because I have actually had that critique of a lot of enemies to, because I love enemies to lovers, but sometimes it's so quick. I'm like, absolutely, this is so unrealistic.
Yeah, like the
Mhm.
Theon thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I was getting
That was
was
weird,
what
yeah.
I kept thinking of. I was like, oh, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, you love this guy. Like, why? I
Well,
don't. I
consider
don't.
this.
see
He's
why.
so hot though. Like consider
Consider
how hot
this.
he is.
Oh,
Love her
God.
mom.
I know.
Murdered her mother.
I
couldn't-
know.
Look, Annika's a better woman than I couldn't do that. I
I will say
that I
this,
would-
so
I don't know if I could get
mean,
over that.
the number of red flags killed my mom. Keeps my hair in his pocket.
Well, she's the one
the
to
hat
talk.
in his pocket is not really a red flag. I
Like,
mean,
it's also not healthy.
So the first day that they're stuck in a cave together during this torrential downpour, they're still very much like, I'm going to kill you as soon as it stops. Cool, I'm going to kill you as soon as it stops. And they're still being mean. And he says something awful like, if I would kill your mother again if it came down to it, because that's how I had to survive. He basically admits, like, it's not like I just like kill people for fun, but I don't regret killing people because without killing people, I couldn't have, what I have. This is how I've survived. And so that's kind of what he tells her. And Annika's like, how could you say something so horrible that you would kill my mom again? And so they're still pretty deeply enemies that first day, but they have to rely on each other to survive. And so there's that kind of weird bonding happening. And then the second day, they start kind of revealing like secrets to each other. And because they're both still like, I know I was into it too, because they were like, well, I'm going to kill you tomorrow, so it doesn't matter if I tell you this. And I think they both kind of still think that they're gonna, like, they still think that they're gonna kill, although we all know that they're not gonna. And then it's kind of like all bets are off. They've already told all these secrets to each other, so why keep any other secrets back? And so they just end up kind of like telling each other their secrets. He tells them more about Darand and like the Duranian traditions. Like they have this one holiday where the girls make like
that was cute.
bracelets.
I liked that part.
That was really cute.
The dancing.
Yeah, and they did like a little dance. Yeah, a little like traditional Duranian dance that was really cute. And she tells him about her life and about cousin Nick, who she does not want to marry, because he's a prick. And he's like, I hate this man. And I'm like, we all do.
Join the club.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'll say
anyways,
when they were dancing with each other in the cave, I was like, okay, I'm still not totally on board, but I do like what's happening here.
It was very cute.
That is so funny. And to me, I was like, unrealistic. I'll take it, but it's unrealistic, which is how I felt about a lot of the selection.
For 3 days, they have got nothing else to do.
Yeah. You're like, I'll take the cave dancing, but absolutely not the romance.
Exactly. That's what. Start off slow.
Everyone's swifting around.
You can dance with each other. You can't tell each other that you're in love with one another.
They didn't.
Well,
they didn't though.
I mean, they all
not yet
did that.
That was next day.
Let's just say they tell all their secrets. He breaks down and like crying and says what he's needed to say for a very long time. So this is not, I think that this scene would have happened with anyone who knew Evelina and was willing to say something nice, because this is something he's been carrying around regardless of Annika since it happened. He basically is like, I wouldn't do it. I would never kill your mother again. That was horrible. I shouldn't have done it. It haunts me to this day. I know you can never forgive me, but because Annika was raised by her mother, whose whole thing was like forgiveness in the face of, things that you would think that someone can't forgive. She says that she does forgive him, and he just like loses it and breaks down. This is something he's needed. This is a moment he has needed, regardless of Annika. He's needed this moment forever.
That Lennox finally cried. I was like, this has been.
He needed this.
You've been holding this in for about 10 years, buddy.
I think that's also why this felt a little bit more realistic to me. Was a lot of the stuff that they let out was stuff that they both really needed to. Regardless, I kind of think maybe there wouldn't have been a romance necessarily, but I think if either of them had been trapped in the cave with anyone, I mean, what are you going to do except for talk for 3 days with the rain and the downpour? And these are things that they both needed to get off their chest, because Annika does not talk about her feelings or her problems to anybody, not even Noemi, really. So she keeps all this stuff bottled up inside. Lennox super doesn't either. So 3 days in this really tense situation, and you think that stuff's not going to come out, especially when you think, well, this person's not going to, they can't do anything with my secrets.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
So I think regardless of the romance, I think that this weird bonding would have happened. I just think because they had chemistry, it made it happen a little faster.
Yeah, because they're both so hot.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just really glad that Lennox had his moment. Lennox needed this moment so badly.
Yeah,
Annika
the boy
also
needed
it, but he really needed it. And she admits to him that she's very embarrassed about her wedding night, whoever it may be with, because they're going to see her legs, and her legs are all scarred to hell and back because when she first said that she refused to marry Nicholas, her father pushed her into a glass table.
Oh my God.
Cut up her legs really bad. So that's that weird thing that happened between them. And he never apologized for it either. He obviously was really upset that he didn't mean to do it, but he never apologized for it. And
that pissed me off.
Yeah. So
God, all these men that are like the worst
icky men. And then
men.
Also, I thought this is a little unrelated, but it was so funny to me whenever they had to go back out into the rain, and then they came back in and they're all soaking wet, and he's like, well, I had to take my shirt off.
I know. She literally was like, he's like, oh, you're in shock, it's okay, it's because of, and I was like,
where have I seen this scene before, Kiera Cass? At the end of the Elite, when Maxon takes his shirt off and he's got all these scars.
God,
She
do you remember
knows
that?
what the girlies want.
Ash, do you remember how dramatic that was?
I do.
Now that she's read all of them, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read them. I read them all immediately after.
You did.
I read the first one.
That scene in that book, I was
That,
like,
I mean,
I'm done for.
and that was the first time she said "I love you" to Maxon.
Oh my!
And that was like a big
God.
thing, and I was like, oh.
You had 3 books of build up for that. She waffled back and forth through that series so much I hated it. I was making a freaking
But there was,
decision.
again, here's the thing for me: the amount of buildup was enough. It was plenty. It was what I needed. I needed all of that
Well, see,
buildup.
it was
to, like,
too
really
much.
fall in love
By
with
the
him.
end of the selection, it's like y'all are so stupid if you don't get
I
together.
mean,
like
yeah.
this.
Towards the end, I'm like, okay,
This
get
is-
over it. But like at that
Yeah.
point, I'm like, oh, finally, like this is the moment
Yeah.
I've been waiting for. Of
You
course,
wanted
you're
to
in love
build
with
up.
each other. Whereas here, I'm like, you're not. You've known each other for a day and a half. You're not in love with each
But
other.
they know everything about each other. And they know the worst of each other. And they're still
I mean-
attracted, which says something, I think, about what you're willing to accept and forgive.
Yeah, no, I was into it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I get. Maybe here's my thing. I would fall. Me personally, I would fall in love with Maxon, not Lennox.
Oh, see, here's my
Oh
thing.
yeah,
I would
Maxon is
never
our
fall-
type.
Yeah.
Oh, not my.
But
I would
Lennox
never
is
in a
not.
million years fall in love with Maxon. Never in a
Maxon
million
is
years.
the love of my life.
I would never
But
fall in love
Lennox-
with Aeschylus. I would never fall in love with Maxon ever. Ever.
Oh,
I would
I
fall in
like
love with
Lennox.
Lennox like that.
It's
I don't know if I'd fall in love with him because he's killed too many people, but
including your mother.
including my mom. But I
Not
do
because he wanted to.
acknowledge that life has been hard for him, and he's doing his best.
Sure, I
Yeah.
can acknowledge that. I can accept that.
And here we have a
can't-
spectrum of
I
Lennox
can't
love.
make out with you because of that.
LOL.
Fuck.
Oh, damn it. I love the pet fox.
Me too.
Okay.
Oh, how
Yeah,
cute is
that's
that
funny.
he named that fox Thistle?
Okay,
That
that's
is
adorable.
really
Like,
cute.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll admit that. Oh,
He has cute boy tendencies. Like, I think that if he
Dancing
didn't
and
grow
the
up where
fox.
he lived
This
and like
is so
what
funny
was
to
going
me.
on, he would be more soft.
okay.
The stuff that you
I
guys are
agree.
fangirling over is the stuff I care about at the very least.
I
You were like dancing in the cave. Oh, he named his fox Thistle, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess.
You're like,
Okay,
yeah,
it's
but
fine.
also he's haunted by the
Green
ghost of
flags.
his past.
Dancing foxes. Yes,
We're
all
like,
good
yes,
things.
yes.
Check, check, check.
I like that it's not just that he's haunted. I like it that he's willing to change. And he also breaks down. It's like, that's humiliating. He breaks down in front of this professed enemy and also the daughter of the woman he killed. Can you imagine how that would break you, like your pride? He
I mean,
breaks
look,
down in front of her and apologizes. I
Karma.
can't even imagine. I
Yeah,
think that's
I don't really
amazing.
care if he's embarrassed though, because he did kill her.
Yeah.
I'm more so like, I'm
I
just
don't-
glad that you're letting it out, buddy. You know,
Oh,
like
I don't care that he's embarrassed. I think it just speaks to his character that he had the strength of will to let himself be, to accept the humiliation that he deserved for that in front of
Oh, yeah.
Hanukkah and apologize. I just think it says a lot. Like her dad never even apologized for throwing her into a glass table. I just think it
I
says
hate
so
him
much
too.
about someone. You're like, no, I
No,
hate him
Lennox
all.
is the best boy in this book besides Aeschylus. Like he
I don't like
he
Aeschylus
def-
that much.
Sorry.
Not
he's
romantically.
doing
He's
his
fine.
best.
Yeah.
I think he's doing his best.
He's doing his best. I will say that. And I love a boy who's doing his best. I really, really do. Oh God. We're gonna move on because I can see from Catherine's face that it is not enough for her. And that's okay.
Yeah, but I'm
You
just
have
gonna repeat
Maxon.
myself.
You have
Let's-
3 books of
I
Maxon.
know,
Don't
I
worry.
know. And I
You
am
can go
forever
read this
Let's just
screenshot
move
after
on.
this. Okay, so they're deeply in love. It's adorable. The rain stops. They're like, now we have to part ways. And they're both like, I basically will never see you again unless you invade, and then you're going to have to kill me. Both of them keep thinking, they have this thought that there's no way we can both exist in the world together. You know,
Ah.
like if you come take over, I die. If we were to come take over there or whatever, you die.
They're
So
truly star-crossed.
they truly are. And so Annika says that a few times, like, wow, of course, I had always wanted like this fictional like fairy tale romance, because she read a lot of books, and she's like, this is so much worse. This is like a star-crossed could be. But it's very sweet because of the woven bracelet thing from the Duranian holiday. He cuts the cord from his father's cloak. By the way, I should say that his mother did do something nice and gave Lennox his father's cloak, and basically said, I'm sorry, I've been such a bad mom. You just remind me so much of him. I've just been trying to survive, and for me, this is what surviving looked like, which does not at all excuse the neglect, but it does explain the neglect, so that helps a little bit. And so he's wearing his dad's cloak, and he cuts off like the tassel from it and makes it into a little bracelet for her. And she cuts off some lace from her dress and makes a little bracelet for him. And they wear it until they're out of sight of each other, heading back to their respective groups to see who survived. And of course, they have to hide them because no one can know that they hung out together that whole time, or that she's now deeply in love with Lennox and vice versa. And a lot of people survived, way more people than should have survived the hurricane, and including Nick and Noemi and Aeschylus and her dad, although her dad is deeply injured.
Can't believe.
And Aeschylus is
I
also
can't
super
believe
injured.
Aeschylus was in better shape than her dad. He got
Well, I
shot.
Yeah. With an arrow, though, right? I think it was an arrow. Yeah.
But
Because he was like, "Don't pull it out."
Wait,
Yeah.
what happened? Why was
I don't know.
injured? Because he didn't get shot.
They
He
just said he was
like,
injured.
sick.
I think maybe he got hurricane injured. Like
I think,
maybe he didn't find cover or something.
Yeah, he got injured. I don't remember how. I don't think she really clarified. But he's been out of his mind for a little while. And then he gets a bad fever, which doesn't help. And he's basically essentially like coma level for the rest of this time. And so because her brother is so injured, she's the regent. So they go back to Kadir. She is now the acting queen, but of course still princess because if Aeschylus or her father get better, which is what she's really, really pulling for. He's waking up. I hope she doesn't pee on anything. She just gave me this look with like her eyes down, and she was like, I'm thinking about it.
Wait, I want to see her. You said she's red.
Yeah, she's like a golden retriever.
Yeah, here. She's a little golden girl.
Is she small enough that she can be on screen for a moment?
Yes, she is. Hang on, let me get her. 1 second. Let me mark my time so I know to cut the pause. Oh, she's my cute girl, and I'm obsessed with her. Hang on.
This is what's important here.
Oh yeah. Priority number 1.
Yeah. Just love me a good little puppy.
Show me the puppy.
I dropped Chicky off from my parents and she was like screaming it. So I took her in through the garage and she was yelling before I opened the actual door because my parents' dog is a couple months younger than her and they're besties. So she was just like whining by the door as I was walking in through the garage because she zoomed up real quick and she was so,
my baby.
Oh,
baby girl.
Oh,
she's my booby.
Yeah. She can hear everything with those big old ears.
Oh, thank you.
When the wind blows, does she get? Oh, she's giving you all the kisses.
I know. She's always sweet when she wakes up. You can keep being sweet.
Girl.
She's getting so big. I'm trying to like show you.
Our vet says whenever we weigh her, oh, she's eating her get big food.
Oh,
you are eating your get big food, aren't you? She does. She eats large fruit, puppy food, so it really is her get big food. Okay, I'm gonna put her back on the bed. I don't know
okay, goodbye, Ruby.
Bye, Ruby. Good to see you, girl.
Yay. Say bye. Bye, Katherine. Bye,
Cool. Good break.
Okay.
Since
We'll take a pause.
Since we're at a quick pause.
Yeah. A different city every night. Oh, I swear. To prepare when
We taking a pee break? What's going on?
I'm sorry, Katherine took a break to go to the bathroom.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna go pee too. That's what I was asking. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Do your cats ever try and lick the water in that little fountain thing?
Oh, that's for them.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Well, that was fun.
I went to the bathroom too.
Cool. Nice.
Oh.
What a cute little puppy. I'm so excited to have a yard.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be great.
I know. I'm gonna have a nice little garden.
Yes, having a yard is so exciting. You can do whatever you want.
And there's two sheds in the back, and one of them is like there's solar panels on the roof, and they hook up to everything. But there's a shed in the back that has electricity in it. That I think whoever was there before had like rabbits or something is what it looks like. But it's just like a heated, air-conditioned shed.
That's awesome. You
And
go
then-
do whatever you want.
And then
in
another
there.
just like normal shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come visit. That'll be our guest room.
I would. Yeah. I'll stay in the
The
shed.
backyard shed.
Cute. Okay. So let's see, where were we? She's acting regent.
Yes.
So Annika is acting as regent back at the kingdom. Lennox and Kawan are having tiffs. Lennox is determined to continue to help his people, to lead his people, and Annika is looking for proof that Durain was, or that Kadir was part of Durain, basically, originally, because she believes Lennox now, essentially. And she's like, I'm just sure that the evidence is here somewhere. Nick is kind of being a pill again. He was really only decent for part of part 2. He's being kind of a pill. He's being really weird, too. And we find out that apparently somebody from Kadir made a deal with Kawan, and they're going to try and kill the princess. And so all we know is that there's an enemy in the castle, and we don't know who it is. And of course, this makes us think, well, obviously it's Nick, you know? And so I definitely thought that. I was like, I know it's really obvious, but that's what I was thinking for a while. So she gets followed around by guards and stuff because Lennox gets a message to her and vice versa. But she sends back, she does find a book. It's in the mythology section, actually, in our library, not the history, that basically shows that not only, well, so she finds out that yes, Kadir actually is Durain, and she sends some, like, a little pot of soil with a messenger, and that's something like a little note that says Durain, and so like Duranian soil, and so sends that to him, and he's like, oh, and he sends back like the little like snack bars that she loves that he keeps with him that have like cinnamon, because she loves cinnamon, which is pretty, like, it's just pretty cute. But basically she finds out that not only was Kadir Durain, that also, yes, that clan was supposed to take over. There were 7 clans, and their clan was supposed to be the leaders. Her family's clan did basically stop this invasion, and they're the reason that Kadir still, or the area even still exists the way it does. Like, they protected the people. But Durain was chosen, that chief was chosen to be the king, to bring the clans together. They got written out of history. But basically there's a big family tree from Durain recorded in this book of mythology, and we find out that not only was Durain supposed to be like the chieftain clan, but the king to be would have been Lennox, because it was Lennox's family line that were all of the
Secret prince, secret prince, secret
So
prince.
that was the question that I had. So it seems like at the end of the book, her mom, Lennox's mom, like, knew that she was royal, but Lennox didn't know, which means if Lennox's mom knew, clearly Lennox's dad knew. Why did Lennox's dad like bow down to Kawan? If that's you know what I mean?
It's a great question. I think the answer probably comes down to something personal, like maybe Jago did not want to lead an army to take back Kadir. And I think it might have been a suspicion, because Kawan had like a list of the names of nobles, and so Kawan knew for sure. I kind of think that Jago just thought that they came from like a noble family from Durain.
Yeah, because I knew that
Maybe.
Lennox knew that, because he said that earlier in the book, like that his dad had told him that before.
Oh, you did?
Like that they were
I just remember
some kind of important family, but he didn't know that they were.
Lennox's mom is talking to Annika. Annika calls her like my lady or something like that. Like
Dowager Queen.
Yeah, and which tells me that Lennox's mom knew, which means that Lennox's dad knew that if she holds a high position. I can't remember exactly what she said.
She said was, is it true, is my son really the king? And then Annika said, yes, he is, as this is a spoiler, but later when his mom is dying in her arms. And she says, yes, your son really is the king. And then she's dying. And then Annika calls her the Dowager Queen, which is that like,
so she might not have known.
Okay. So she,
so I don't know that she knew. She did know that they were nobles. So I think she was like, well, I didn't know we were that noble, you know?
Okay.
I didn't know we were that.
You don't, again, like you don't question that. Like this guy comes to your house saying that you're a Doranian noble.
Well, they already knew that.
Well, they already knew that, but he was just kind of like, I'm gathering everybody.
Did Kawan ever tell them, I don't know, I'm higher rank than you,
I guess they assumed because he, you know, he took charge of everything.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like,
okay. The only one who actually knew.
Yeah.
And Annika found out.
Yeah.
How did he know? That's what I want a novella from his point of
Kawan
view.
novella.
Yeah. I just like, I want to know all the facts. How did he find
how
out?
did he get here? What was his like whole
and he can't read. And so
SLS.
Also, can I just, of all the things to hate about Kawan, one of the things I hate the absolute like in top 3 is that he refuses to let his people learn how to read and write. Isn't that just
that
the worst?
pissed me off.
I was like, that's legitimately evil.
That's
I mean,
like
a lot of what he does is, but it really is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
That scene where Lennox was teaching everybody how to read a little bit, like writing their names, was so cute.
When
Blythe was like, I like that one. What's that? He was like, that's an X.
Yep. And when she says something about how their names look good together, they both have like pretty names. I was like, Lennox, can you not tell that she's Indian? And he's like, interesting. She must really want to learn how to read or something.
Well,
I'm like,
Lennox,
he
knew, but he was like, I can't reciprocate.
Okay, that one I picked up on.
Yeah, she will go.
Oh God. Anyways,
clearly spelled out for me, I guess.
Yeah, you're like, I want absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and I need a long friendship leading up to it also, just to be sure. Let's see. So all that's going on. Let's see. Her father does die, so that's sad. Actually, I will backtrack a little bit and say basically what happens is Lennox misses Annika, so he's talking to Evelina's grave, and Blythe overhears him basically saying that he's in love with Annika, and she's like, how dare you? Well, I have been right here all along, and you'd rather choose her over me, the person who stole our land? And he's like, well, she didn't specifically, but and so anyway, so that's that. And she's basically like, I will give you a 6-hour head start, and then I'm telling Kawan, and we're coming after your ass.
Another thing about Lennox, he knew that Blythe liked her, and he just like strung her along.
He didn't string her along though.
Okay.
There was zero indication that he did not.
Her. He just didn't reciprocate. He basically told her, he was like, thank you for the bracelet.
But he knew about Blythe. He knew that she liked him, and he never was like,
when she gave him the bracelet, he said, I can't wear this.
Yeah, he said, I'm not gonna wear it.
Did he?
And she said, and she said, I know, I just needed to make it.
Okay, never mind.
All right, I forgot.
Yeah, but then he did take until closer to the end to be like, for sure, no. But like, he wasn't like, I don't think he was really leading her on. From my perspective.
I don't think so.
Fair enough. I'll take it.
And I think for a while he considered the same kind of ideas like Annika did with Nicholas, where she was like, I'm just going to make the best of what I have. And I think for a while, like, he had never given her any signals because he wasn't interested in her. But there was part of his brain that was like, well, I don't know. Should I make the best of things? Like, Blythe is a great person.
He should be interested in her.
That's what I was on the train of. I was like, oh, he's kind of using her like a backup, sort of like a.
Yeah, I think he had it in his mind.
I think maybe in his mind as a possibility, but I don't think he ever gave her any indications of it.
Took up on that, like, oh, okay, he's not explicitly.
Yeah, she was very hopeful about it.
It's like a hard no, so I'm gonna.
I don't know that Blythe picked up on it, because I think that Blythe already liked him and felt that way before he even had it in his head. Like, oh, I guess that could be a fun, because he wasn't even he didn't think about her as a potential match until Inigo was like, bro. And also, if you're not going to be with her, then let her go so I can ask her out.
He was straight up like, can I date her? Or y'all
maybe I was seeing Blythe be like super into him, and I was like, oh, he's not turning her away every single time, so he's
because I don't think he got it most of the time, and then he also was just so awkward. He had no idea what
I think he got it, but I think that he was also kind of like, she's my friend. Like, I don't want to be mean.
Yeah,
he just did not. He was like, surely just not reciprocating is Surely that's
Because I mean,
message enough.
clearly, if she comes up on him talking about how much he loves he loves Annika,
Mhm.
she did not know that he was uninterested in her being
But that's
dead.
not his fault. I feel
No.
like he has been extremely clear. And he even, before that happened, he had even said, we are not going to be together. He had been really direct before that.
I think
Yeah.
at that
Actually
point
had
she
the
was just like,
conversation.
maybe he'll change his mind.
Yeah, maybe I'm seeing it through the eyes of Paul.
You were
This
like,
guy was so
you were like,
unclear.
blind solidarity.
I'm just
She's
seeing from
bad.
Lennox's perspective, because this has happened to me a couple times where guys have been like, you led me on, and I'm like, I was polite to you and never reciprocated. And I saw that you were flirting and I intentionally
Yeah.
did not reciprocate. And they're like, you led
Yeah.
me on. And I'm like, definitely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's what I'm
so
seeing.
you're like, no, he did.
Well,
I don't think I don't think that was
there's a
his
lot
intention.
more anti-Lennox energy here than I thought that there would be.
Me too. I'm surprised.
Look, it's not that I hate Lennox, it's that I think everything happened too fast and I would never be.
You weren't personally into it.
I'm not, if I met a Lennox,
Mm-hmm.
it's a no.
It's a no.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think he could grow on me. He's not my type, really.
Yeah.
But like, I think that he could be my type if his situation hadn't dictated that he'd be a murderer.
Yeah.
But you just said his situation dictated it. The second he has like any kind of real choice or option, he's like, I'm never killing again. Like that's.
But the fact that I'm just saying,
but
like,
again, he's the one that's like, well, I hate Nicholas because he says that he's going to do all these nice things and then he doesn't follow through. He, leaves you when you're being ambushed. And Lennox is a man of action, not a man of word, or he claims he is, and then he murders people. That is the action. He is doing that action. He is a murderer. That is who he is.
Exactly. Like, I think that
you don't want Nicholas to die, because I really did.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, but like,
no, I like
his being a man of action. And all of his actions are bad things.
Well,
I like Lennox so
this
much.
is not like some society where people don't kill each other all the time. Like in this society, a quick death is considered a mercy. Like that's considered a mercy in this world.
Sure.
It's very different societally.
Everyone be quiet. I have to say something.
We always get like this when it gets to a Kiera Cass book.
Yes, Kendall.
Okay. No, I liked him a lot. I liked him way more than I thought I would once I realized that this was like more of a we're murdering people book, Okay. I was like, oh, okay, this is wild for Kiera. But see, normally I would not go for these types of boys at all. This enemies to lovers, I work for the bad guy kind of thing, unless it's Magnus. I don't go for that.
Out of character for you. Oh my God.
But this time it worked for me because I think that at his heart, he is my type, but he just has to act differently because of the situation he was raised in.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, I think so. I can agree.
Yeah.
Because in the epilogue,
he's like a sweetheart.
Yeah. But
he was always a sweetheart.
Stuff happened before that where
I
like the
made
fact
up
my mind.
He is a sweetheart doesn't change the fact that he did murder her mom, which I don't know if I could personally get over,
No.
Yeah.
He showed mercy though in every way that he could to everybody, even when he was killing people. Like if he could show some form of mercy, he would try to, which is not an excuse for the murder, but says a lot about his character.
I mean, you choose to either kill someone or like put up with some bullying. And then he killed someone.
Like he did kind of make himself the killer so that he would be respected. Yeah. I'm just gonna say that.
That's a little bit
that's true
to me. You're gonna
kill
someone so that you get bullied slightly less. And
like he did be like, okay,
completely less. I mean, he was getting bullied by everybody, not just Kwan. So it was a drastic change, but it's still, yeah.
I'm saying I see both of y'all's sides is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I can't justify his murdering. I'm definitely not justifying it. I'm just saying it wasn't like a no-go for me forever.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I personally would go for it.
Get on board with it.
Right.
I didn't go for the murdering. I was just like, you have apologized, I can forgive you. But I can understand if
but like I'm very unforgiving as a person. So
yeah, I think I'm pretty forgiving, actually. I don't think I sound like I am, but I am. I don't forget anything. I mean, I forget everything, but now when I've been wronged, I won't forget it. But I won't forgive it. I'll be like, I'm not going to let it happen again, but I get over it. It's fine. if somebody apologizes, they don't apologize, it's different. But he was definitely like, I regret everything in my whole life. And I was like, oh, sweetheart.
I get it.
Sure. I was pay for your crimes. You killed this girl's mom.
He's been tortured his entire life.
He was
Don't worry.
pretty depressed. Like, I think the fact that he was so depressed made me feel better about it.
Like,
I was like, okay.
It's the only
murder. I can't get over it. I can't get over it.
If he had not
This is a murder society, though. Like, it is like a high fantasy type of society.
Yeah.
Very different even than in the selection. If someone was like killing people, obviously very, very different, because they have like rules and laws in that society. There's a lot less
and that's
of
like
that.
future society.
Look, I don't hate Lennox. He's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fine. He can be for me.
You're like, more for me, baby.
More likes for me. Anyways, so Lennox is like, he has to run away. He runs to Annika, so that's cool. Now he gets to pretend to be a guard and stay near Annika, and Annika's like, this is the best day of my entire life. I'm so happy. So that's really cute. And their reunion is adorable. And
yeah, that was so cute.
It's super cute. And then she shows him the family tree thing and that he's really supposed to be the king. And he's like, what are you gonna do about it? And she's like, I don't know, bro. And then the invasion happens pretty quickly from Kwan's side. So there's some other stuff in between, but I'm just gonna skip some. Her father does die. Aeschylus is going to be king. The invasion happens, but when they go to find her brother, he's missing because he has run away with Noemi, and he left a note.
This pissed me off.
I know, this was
pissed me off.
But he ran away?
Yeah.
He didn't know that there was about
I know he didn't know, but I was like, you're being selfish because you're
in the
he
note.
didn't know there was a risk of invasion. He did know that there was a risk.
Sure. In the note though, he's like, if you need me to come back in a little bit, I will. I just need to like establish my merit.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't.
I guess that is what
he didn't know.
Wanted to do when she got married, but
I guess just what can you forgive? Apparently I can forgive the murdering thing because it made him, because he was really depressed and regretted it, and you're like, I can forgive abandoning your sister in kingdom. I can forgive that.
But he didn't abandon. He said he's gonna come back. He just didn't know it would have to be, that day.
I think that
he literally said in a few years.
He did the selection sequel, their son did this shit. Remember that? He abandoned everyone.
I forgot.
I was so pissed because when this was about to happen, I was like,
Aeschylus,
do not tell me you're gonna pull whatever his name is.
Okay, here's where that differs. He was not, what's his name? Aaron was not next in line for the throne.
Yeah, that's true. He was but see, that
second.
makes it better. But they were way more mad at him than they were at Aeschylus.
And Aeschylus is so much
America,
like
almost died because of it.
Yeah, that's true. That did happen, didn't it?
Do you remember that?
I couldn't forgive him.
I was
died.
so bad
at it for him.
I was like, yeah, Aaron, you're out of the will. Like, I'm sorry. No more.
So, but in this book, her father has just died. And they are about to be invaded. And he knew both of those things. And he still was like, we're going to run away and get married.
I thought he didn't know that.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew that her dad
He knew that the dad had just died.
And he didn't know they were going to be invaded.
Oh, that's right. Like, that's why he gave her the
now
ring.
You're king.
Yeah. And he gave her like the ring with the seal.
Aeschylus?
And honestly, this didn't surprise me.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Men are stupid.
Men are trash.
This is what I'm saying. Even the good ones. This is what I'm saying.
I was rooting for you. I think he had a lot.
Forgive, but don't forget.
I can't forgive the murdering of the mother, but I can forgive the running away for a night to get married.
It wasn't for a night. He literally said, "I'll be back in a few years if you want me to."
But he did return the next day.
Yes, because the invasion happened.
Yeah, but he didn't totally abandon her. As soon as he knew, like, oh shit, there's an invasion, let me come back to help. He came back.
He knew it was going to happen. He just didn't know it was going to happen that day. He knew it was going to happen. They were preparing for war.
Well, he could have made a different day happen.
Here's what I think. Aeschylus had a quarter life crisis because he almost died and he was like, I am not goofing around anymore. I am marrying my girlfriend and I do not give a fuck? And so then he was like, peace out. I think he was having a complete crisis is what I think.
I honestly, I can forgive him. I don't care. I can totally forgive him. I wasn't surprised about this because Aeschylus has always been like, I'm going to put the people I love first, not the country. So to me, this was not surprising. And I can totally forgive him.
Point.
I'm just saying it was a big deal.
It's easier to forgive him because he came back within 24 hours. So I'm like, okay,
even if he
did what you needed to do, you got married.
I would rather have him stayed away. I would rather have him stayed away. He made his decision and I'm fine with it, but I would have rather him just stayed away and just really stuck with the decision.
Yeah, no, that's a good point though, Ash. That's a very literary, what? You know,
I'm not sure
you made a good literary point.
I mean, I had
character-wise,
I had a good thing.
It does make more sense. And it was established that Annika was very much always like, I'm going to do
whatever I can.
What I need to for the people. Aeschylus was kind of like, you know, screw that noise. I'm kind of into my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my sister.
I can
and my dad.
respect.
I like that.
He's clear about it.
He's at least he did make his intentions clear.
And I think this is also very much just like a preference thing. Like to me, it's more attractive, even if someone else would like put like their duty to their kingdom first or whatever. Like that's more attractive to me than I'm going to just abandon everything for emotions and feelings, which they're both completely relevant.
In that scenario, who are you, the people or Noemi?
I mean,
wait,
in what,
like
what
you said,
mean?
you can respect one decision over the other.
I can respect the decision to stand by your kingdom, even if it sacrifices some other, relationships.
It is hot to do that.
Even if you were Noemi, would you say that? Like, this my boyfriend is choosing literally everyone else over me.
I would still say that.
If I was Noemi.
No, I would still say we need to stay here and fight alongside Annika. I would still say we can't.
No. If I was Noemi, I'd want to do that too. But I just
know what I'd say. I don't think I will ever.
But like, if Lennox had so this is the same thing. Annika is this whole time thinking like, okay, I'm gonna help Lennox get his throne back, but then he might be like, screw this, your people have to leave, and she'd be like, okay, that sucks. See, that's wild to me because I would have been like, no, we already established we're in love, so you're just gonna be nice to me now, we're not doing this whole like you putting everyone
yeah.
I never thought that was going to happen because that was in Lennox's character to like kick all the people.
No, I didn't think it was going to happen either. But the fact that Annika was entertaining it, that was like,
weird. I feel like I kind of felt like that was a little bit of a we still need to keep the stakes high kind of thing. And so Kiera was like, I'm going to make her intentionally obtuse on this one point so that we can keep the stakes high longer. That's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so the invasion happens. Blythe attacks Annika, and then Annika actually ends up saving Blythe's life. So that happens. And he goes like, bro, what the F? You abandon us. And then she's like, I lost my train of thought. So Inigo's like, bro, you abandoned us. And he's like, here's the deal. I actually can get this whole kingdom back for us. It turns out that I'm actually like the rightful king to this. And Annika, so then Annika gets injured. Because Griffin goes after her, and then this is so sad. And then
no, I hated this.
Lennox had to kill Griffin because Griffin was attacking Annika. But then Griffin, they have a moment a bit together where he's like, Griffin, I'm so sorry, because it was just like a reflex to protect Annika, who was about to be murdered. And so as Griffin sighs, like he's like, it's okay, I forgive you. I didn't want to live without my girlfriend anyways. And
we
really
also forgot to talk about that. I think how during the island battle, Griffin's girlfriend.
We did mention it.
No, we mentioned it.
Okay.
That was so sad. And that was some Romeo and Juliet shit. That was Romeo killing Mercutio. But I hated that. That made me pissed off.
It was really upsetting.
Yeah.
And so Nicholas takes Annika because she's been injured like badly in the chest. He like runs up to her room and he locks her in there. And then he pulls some stupid ass shit that I've been waiting for him to pull from the beginning. He's basically like, here's the deal. You're going to do whatever I say. We're going to put these rings on and we're going to tell everybody that we actually are married. And if you want to survive this, then you're just going to stand by that. And I'm in charge. There's no system. I don't know why. Because as she was being carried away too, she said, protect the king. He's the king. And pointing to Lennox. Lennox is the rightful rightful king, protect him. And so that's been established. Nicholas is like, I don't think so. I don't know who that guy is. He's definitely not the king. I think he does. He's like, I can't believe that you would, protect the guy who killed your mom, which is kind of what everyone is saying, including Katherine, which I can understand. I understand the feeling.
This clown.
But Nicholas really shows his true colors, and he's like, I am gonna be king. I was raised to be king, or not to be king, but to be like in this royal household. So I'm not gonna let you get in my way. And he locks her in there and leaves, and he's got like a wedding ring on her finger. I was mad, but I was not surprised.
No,
and there's still like the whole thing about someone in the castle trying to kill her, and everyone's like, oh, it's Nicholas.
It's obviously Nicholas. Yeah, exactly. And so if you guys can hear squeaking, I'm sorry. Ruby just brought her toy in here and she's sitting behind me squeaking it. Oh no, she took it on the bed. She's just sitting on the bed squeaking. She doesn't she loves to chase her ball, but more than anything, she loves to sit there and she'll just squeak it. She'll just sit and chew and squeak it.
Aww.
It's so cute. But anyway, so she escapes because Nicholas is an idiot who knows nothing about his fiance. I didn't know that she could pick locks because he's stupid. This is not even like that well kept of a secret that the princess can pick locks. An idiot, and he's so dumb. So she picks the lock, gets out. She gets the sword from under her bed that she used to hide there, and hooray, she's off again. And she's determined to go get the books because she knows, especially with Nicholas out there trying to ruin everything, if she cannot prove to everybody that that Lennox is the rightful king, then this battle's just going to get bloodier and worse. The takeover is going to be really, really bad. And so she goes to try and get the books. And then Rhett pulls some stupid shit. And I was like, Rhett, you've been getting progressively worse, and now you're showing your true colors, and I hate you. He's basically like, yeah, so you chose someone else over me. That guy killed your mom. Wow, you're the worst. And he basically is like, I'm going to set this library on fire now so you can't have the books. So
believe this.
Librarian.
Yeah, I cannot believe he betrayed us like this. Hot librarian.
Yeah,
no.
I didn't like Rhett that much. There were some red flags, but I wasn't expecting him to burn the library
to like turn
down.
full evil. Yeah,
and he really did. He kind of turned full evil. And so out of pure entitlement, which was very upsetting. And so she manages to get these two books that are chained together because all the mythology books are chained. And yeah, you know what, guys, if you ever see, this is why censorship is such an interesting concept. If you ever see a book that's censored, chained to something, or behind glass, that book is important. Either because it's something we don't want to do again, so we need to remember, or it's something someone doesn't want you to know, which is almost always something you should know. So just some fun facts about life right there. There's a lesson learned for you. And so she should have
not been looking at these.
Yeah, she should have looked at the chained up books first. And so she's dragging these around, deeply injured, carrying a sword. She tells Rhett, I forget what she says. She says something like,
bye, bitch.
She's like, if Kadir is still here tomorrow, then you better get out of here, or I'll have you. What she say? Prison for treason.
Yeah.
Ruby, stop it. That's unnecessary. She's like, if I bark at the cat enough, the cat will.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Expressing her thoughts.
Ruby Tuesday.
Your little dog thoughts.
Ruby Tuesday.
She is determined to. Those are new. Could you not eat that? Thank you. Hi, sweet.
On the drive up here, Chickpea was I have sleeping bags in the back of my car, in the back of the minivan, and she was in the back row, and I have like two of the seats up and the third seat down, and that's where the sleeping bag was, and she was just barking at it. I think that's what I don't know what else is back there, but she was just barking at something like in the back.
I hate this sleeping bag.
Get your ass up here.
Ruby literally just like she choked on cotton that she pulled out of a toy. Hang on. Ruby, get out if you're gonna bark. Probably gonna do it again.
Yeah,
she is determined to be friends with the
things.
cats.
And then I stopped at Buc-ee's on the way here to get gas, and she was barking at everybody.
She was like, absolutely not.
She barks.
She's a barky gal.
Yeah, she's a barky gal. She's all bark, no bite, but she barks at everything.
She loves to bark. Yeah,
she's a barky barker.
So is Ruby. She loves to come up right beside your head and then turn her head to your ear and bark.
Oh yeah, yeah. The couch, our desk,
bad.
like where we work if we're working from home, is right where like the L of the couch ends. So she'll sit on the end of the couch where the L is, right behind the chair. You just bark in your ear sometimes if she wants to fight.
It's horrible. It's so genuinely painful. But anyways, back to the story. So chaos is everywhere. They confront Nicholas, and they're like, he was the traitor all along. Where is she? And he's like, I locked her in here for her safety. And they're like, whatever, you were trying to kill her. It was you all along. And then what's his name? Mamoon? Is that his name? Mamoon, who's one of the guards who was there. He was just kind of like side character. I was like, wow, really came out of the woodwork with it.
He was
Yeah,
like
that
the
shocked
guy
me.
that, so like the one guard that Annika actually trusted, because he went on like the
Palmer.
very first mission to like tell Kawan to
Yeah,
meet
that
them,
was-
and then he swam all the way back to Kadir.
That was
that was
Palmer.
Palmer.
Oh, that was, but Palmer
Palmer was
Palmer
like friends with-
recommended Mamoon.
Palmer was like, you know who I trust the most?
Yeah.
This other
Mamoon.
guy.
Yeah, it
Yes.
was that
And then
guy.
that other
So
guy.
that was
ended up
sad. And so
being
he
worse.
ended up killing Nicholas. So at this point, they still don't know that it's him because they thought that Mamoon basically killed Nicholas because he thought Nicholas was about to be like, it really wasn't me, you guys. It was really someone else. And like,
Yeah.
so he kills him first. And they're like, wow, okay, that happened. And we're all like, hooray, Nicholas is dead. Ding
Yay.
dong, cousin Nick's dead. I've been waiting for that this whole
Dear
book.
old Nick.
Dear old Nick.
The Nick is dead.
So I didn't want him to die for most of the book until the end. I was just like, get out and go far away. And
Yep.
so yeah. And so anyway, so he's trying to go find Kawan. They kind of all meet up in the throne room because Kawan is sitting there on the throne. His mom is also there. And then what is it? Does Annika stumble in? Like, who I'm trying to think of the order.
Yes.
Everything
like,
comes to a
I
head.
think Lennox is like being held by like his head or his neck or something by
Yeah, they
someone.
got a
Kawan,
knife
and
to
then
his throat.
or
they're
someone.
talking about who's dead and who's not. And someone said that the king is dead and that Aeschylus is actually alive, but he fled. And then there's talking something about Annika, and Annika like comes in,
Yeah,
like,
she's
dragging
like,
her sword
"Did you
behind her.
come?"
leg,
Dragging
and
her
then she's
sword
like,
in the books.
"You're
Yeah.
talking
with the
about
chain.
me?" And Lennox tries to like whip his head around, but someone's like holding him by the
Mhm.
neck.
Yeah.
Our girl, she is so cool. She walks in with her sword, like, look at me. I'm about to save my
With
BS.
a half ripped up bloody dress.
Save my kingdom
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick.
You see, you're making it look really triumphant. In my head, she looks really, really rough. And that's what makes it all the better, but she looks rough.
She's like,
No, but that makes it
dragging the
cooler.
Yeah,
sword
exactly.
behind
Oh,
her,
it's
Yeah.
so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
She looks so badass in this moment. She is like falling apart and deeply injured and bleeding from her dress, but she is so badass. And
Mhm.
she's like, all the proof you need is right here. Lennox is actually the king and you suck, Kawan. And Kawan is like, you know what? What is it? She says down and Lennox just knows, and he ducks and she slices through I think it's Mamoon who's holding Lennox hostage, because then Lennox goes to confront Kawan, but instead of striking him, Kawan stabs his mom, which is
Bro, I knew that was gonna happen.
horrible.
I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Why would that happen?
I was a little like, oh.
Because I was
I
like,
didn't-
he's gonna kill her. Like, if there's anyway.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
she's like expendable in his
Yeah,
eyes, but
he
I
didn't
was,
care.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting her to be the.
Well, I didn't expect
The one
Kawan to kill her. I would expect
Yeah.
him to like use her as like a body shield or something, but like I didn't expect him to just whip
Yeah,
around
okay,
and
I guess
steal
that's what I
her.
thought. I thought he was gonna do something like that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like terribly surprised, but anyway.
I was sad. And so then he's about to kill Kawan, but Inigo actually stops him and is like, no, you have to give him a trial. You have to be better than Kawan was. Kawan would have killed someone for this. You have to give him a trial. You have to let there be justice. And so he resists, even though this man just killed his mom, who he was literally just bonding with again. Because his mom had also been like, before he came back, she was like, by the way, I'm behind you. I've been wrong all this time. I thought it was all about surviving, but with you, I
By
think
the
there's a
way,
chance of winning
Kawan
again.
actually is an ass.
Yeah.
I hate him, but here I am.
Yeah. And so that happens. Annika's got the books, and so he's looking at the books, and I guess that's right afterwards. She goes to like hold his mom, and who is dying, and calls her the Dowager Queen, which I guess is like, what is it? The queen of, like, the mother of the king.
The mother of the king, yeah.
Mother of the king is the Dowager Queen.
I thought that was Queen Mother.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know.
I have no idea what Dowager
Well,
means,
Dowager
so-
Countess in Downton Abbey is the count's mom.
Okay.
So maybe there's two terms for it.
Gotcha. Probably.
I don't know, something like
I
that.
don't know. I'll Google
Anyways,
it.
and
Well,
then
I
she's
won't,
like, my
'cause
son
this
is really a king, and she's like, yes, and then she dies, so she gets to die happily, and that's that is that. The battle is sort of won, except that then Annika passes out also because she's been injured and bleeding actively this whole time. She's been running around the castle, dragging these books and fighting the fire in the library and all this craziness.
She's so cool.
She's so cool. And she has the line where she gets to like library and she's like bleeding. She's like, queens don't faint, because she's like about to pass out. She's like, no, a queen would never faint. And I'm like, you got this, Annika.
Go girl, go.
She is my hero of all.
Yeah,
of,
she's awesome.
She's so my hero. I love her so much. Of all like the female protagonists, I love her maybe the most.
I love a strong female.
She's
awesome.
strong and badass, but she's still like, and forgiveness is powerful. And I'm like, wow, that's really, and she's like, and also being kind. Like, she is one of the few female protagonists who does not compromise her badassery for also being a nice person, because it's very hard to have both of those things. And she does it amazingly. Like, if I can be Annika, I would be Annika. And let's see. So then she wakes up. The battle is over. Kawan is in prison, and there's a lot of dead on both sides. But she wakes up in one of the random rooms of the castle that has not been burnt down. Because, by the way, the fire that Red started in the library burned like half the castle. So that was shitty.
I mean, if you need kindling, books are.
Oh god.
Yeah. Aeschylus is back with Noemi, and she's all dressed like a normal person, not a maid now. And he's like, this is your sister now, or whatever. And she's like, oh, yay. And he's like, are you really, really mad at me? And she's like, no, I actually loved being queen for the little while that I was. But, and I get that. I wouldn't have been mad at him like as a sister. I'm mad at him from the outside that he was so, I felt so selfish, but I understand.
Me too.
It just felt selfish.
Me too.
But I still would have reacted like Annika did. And so I'm glad she's glad he's back. I'm glad he's back. And then Lennox comes in to talk to her, and they leave her alone with Lennox. And she's like, what is that? I forget. She says something to the effect of them being star-crossed or whatever. And he says,
he's like,
go
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because you clearly have a better memory of this moment.
No, well, she was like, said, kind of a thing about like, about being star-crossed or whatever. And he was like, well, I guess I just have one question then. And I was like, oh boy, here it comes. Oh boy. And she's like, and he's like, we should like get married or whatever. And she's like, yeah. And I was
perfect.
Like, this is clearly the correct option. Now y'all can both be in charge.
Exactly. And then both people can stay.
The strongest claim.
Yeah, now Kadir, the people of Kadir can stay, the people of Durrani and all the people that the Durranians have been taking in, they can all stay. And it's so exciting. And that's that. We get a cute little epilogue of them with their kids being adorable. And
I like the
they have to have a baby. Yeah.
Epilogue.
Wait, is it
little
live?
No, epilogue.
Epilogue.
Yeah, Blythe is in the epilogue as well.
Yeah. Oh, she was just saying she liked the epilogue.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you guys cut out for a second, so I was like, what?
All the traditions.
Yeah, they bring
so
back a lot of the
cute.
Durranian traditions, and they have their first baby, and she lets Blythe hold the baby, and they have like this like tentative growing friendship, so that's fun. But yeah, it's adorable, and that is 1,000 Heartbeats by Kiera Cass. And this is a really long episode, you guys. I should have warned everybody, but it's a long book. And I did go through a lot of the plot because it was very fresh in my mind. I just finished it last night. But yeah, I guess very quickly before we get too off track, what was our first impression of this book?
First impression.
I liked it. I needed more build up.
No. Like when you first saw it.
Oh,
you saw the cover.
Lovely cover.
Yeah.
Another
like what did you think
Cass
before?
Home run.
Yeah. Kiera Cass home run. Yep.
Love a good dress.
I got excited
that was me
because
too.
there's a dude on the back, and so I was
that was fun.
That's never happened before.
Is
and
that
so
like his cloak that they're talking about? You think?
I think that's his like
just
riding coat. There's a cloak that
wearing.
he wears over it.
I don't know, but he looked kind of cute. Back of his head, and then
I mean, any Kiera Cass cover is gonna be
gonna be good.
I don't know about you, but I'm a judger of book covers. I
Aren't
do
we all,
judge my books by the cover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I don't love the color purple, but I got over it very, very quickly. Because the book cover is purple. If y'all haven't seen it, can't imagine that you haven't. But
have you read? I know that you've read the selection. Did you read the other two books, like the second?
No, I want to. I just haven't actually gotten to.
I think
I've seen the covers though.
The air is purple, but that I mean that is a cover that That's probably my favorite cover.
I think this is my favorite Kiera cover, to be honest.
Yeah.
It is so pretty. And like,
It is.
that was my first impression. I was like, wow, we're at it again, baby.
I know. I think this is my favorite cover as well. I like it. It's very dynamic.
I really like the font.
I love her dress. I love the dress. I love the sleeves. I love the bodice. I love the little like bustly things on the side of the dress.
Yes.
I love this dress. Let's see. What did we favorite and least favorite parts?
Okay, favorite part. I mean, I just really like the epilogue when they're like planning things and they're like, oh, we're gonna teach our kids about the dances and the Founders Day, the rock collecting,
the rock thing. Yeah,
I enjoyed that part a lot.
Yeah, least favorite part.
Anytime that Lennox had a lock of her hair.
You were not into the hair.
You were so not into it. Wow.
It was not your vibe.
I hated that. Yeah.
My favorite part. I don't know. My favorite part was when he showed up, surprised her, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And then they were being cute at the castle.
Yeah,
I loved
very
that.
cute.
That was cute.
I like that too. Yeah.
My least favorite part when Kawan killed Thistle.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yes, that happened. It was horrible. It was so unnecessarily
pissed me off. I was so upset.
Oh, she can feel your anger.
What about you, Ash?
Ruby is tearing something up at the one side, rather. Very quickly, I'll say favorite part was I really liked when she was being queen, like when she was regent or whatever. I really liked that part. I also really liked the cave scene for very, very different reasons. So maybe a tie between those two scenes.
Really good.
Yeah, they were good. Least favorite part, maybe the killing Thistle, the flashback maybe when he killed her mom, because I was just like heartbroken for everybody involved. It was horrible.
That was bad.
It was so bad. What about favorite and least favorite characters?
I mean, favorite characters got to be Annika, right? Yeah.
Annika, queen.
Least favorite? I do not like Nick at all. I like Nick less than I like Kawan. So yeah, I mean, fair. Kawan like owns the fact that he's a dick.
Nick thinks he's a good guy.
Yeah, but he is not.
Yeah.
But Rhett, I don't know. That really
disappointed me.
I'm still gonna say Nick though, because he was consistently an ass, whereas Rhett was an ass at the end.
Yeah.
But it was quite a large thing that he did. That was
probably same for me. Favorite Annika, least favorite Nick, but also I hated Kawan a lot. I don't know. I could see where Nick went wrong. I was struggling to see what happened with Kawan because we don't get all the backstory. So it was more of just me hating him.
I would love a backstory from him. Like, how did he become such a dick? How does he?
Yeah, how did he become a dick?
Okay, that is the weirdest sneeze.
Yeah, it's Happy sneezing.
Oh, that's how Yennefer sneezes too.
Yeah, see, it's
so
weird. It's Yennefer and Taft.
They're the same kitty cats.
Baby.
Okay, my favorite was Annika, closely followed by Lennox. Just as individual people, even if they were not in each other's stories, I really like both of these characters. Maybe a tie actually for favorite, Annika and Lennox. And least favorite, Kawan. I think you should join the hate squad. He's so unnecessarily cruel across the board.
Hate squad.
Yeah. What did we learn from this book? I already said the thing about if it's censored or locked up or whatever, that's a book you need to read.
That's a book you need to read. For me, I think, do not put up with shit. Annika was like, absolutely not. You're not telling me to put my hair up. And I was like, good for you, girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, learn skills from different people. That it saved her ass to know lock picking and stuff. It diversify your skill set.
She knew how to. Well, I guess when Lennox taught all of his teammates how to like read the stars, that didn't really come up. But like a good thing to know.
It's very good to know. And he taught them like, I like how Lennox, that was the thing about him. He was like a good teacher. He like taught everyone like how to navigate, like star stuff, reading. That was very cute.
Whole thing
I agree.
I guess he talked about O'Brien with Monica.
Yeah, what's your favorite
Yeah.
constellation?
Yeah, I agree.
What else did we learn?
Not to attack Blythe, but listen, if you like someone enough that you're gonna get pissed if they don't like you back, just be right up front and say, I like you, do you like me back? Because that would have solved all of this. And there would have been no did she give him signals? Did he give her signals? It would have just been clear. If you like someone so much that you're gonna hold it against them if they don't return your feelings, just say it. At least Rhett said it, and she was really clear right up front. There was no, she gave him signals.
That's true.
Blah, blah, blah. Like he was like, I love you, and she's like, I don't feel that way about you, and he's like, okay.
Yeah. Once again, we've fallen into the thing of no, you do not. Just because you like someone doesn't mean that they're
entitled to like you
anything.
back. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We usually
keep running into this
just
one.
the boys,
Also,
but we got it from a Blythe today too.
And here I'm bringing up another one. You know, tried and true. Do not marry your cousin. Do not do it. I'm so serious.
Guys. She didn't.
Stop it. Stop marrying your cousin.
She was against it from the start.
She was against it.
Do it. I understand why
your
you're
crazy father into a
potential
ambush when you have a gut feeling that it's going to be a ambush.
Yeah,
I know.
not
I know
your crazy father.
It's a situation we all find ourselves in at some point, you know? Inevitably. So just be prepared for it. Next time your dad tries to take you into an ambush, just say, no, I think I'll sit this one out. Thanks, Dad.
Just say no.
Oh,
good
God.
Lessons, good lessons.
I agree. What about favorite quotes?
Hold on.
Okay.
I had it pulled up.
The thing is, there are a lot of good quotes in here, but I wasn't taking good enough notes while I was reading to like find them all again. So just know Kiera is once again on her shit of like writing really good romantic lines. Like some of these are super good, but mine is not romantic this time around, shockingly, because I thought there were some funny bits. One of them was I'm not gonna find it, but at the beginning Inigo said like what was it? Never mind, I can't find it. Anyway, but
what's the idea?
What is the idea? Now I'm trying to remember. He basically said something like wait, no, I have it.
Okay. At the beginning when they're first kind of
meeting? Don't lose this page.
Okay.
Oh, I know. Inigo said they're talking about the holiday, I think, with the bracelets. And he was like, you should just embrace it. And Lennox said, I don't embrace things ever.
I love that. I enjoyed that from him.
My other one that I thought was funny was whenever Lennox was hiding under the bed when Nicholas came in to talk to Annika, which was very good overall. But he's just like sitting there seething like, this guy is such a dick. And he's
the way that Lennox calls him dear Nicholas,
it's really funny.
Every time I'm like, what?
So funny.
Even in serious moments, he was like, and dear Nicholas is over here getting killed. But he said, what does Nicholas said? There isn't such a man, he insisted, answering his own pathetic question. With everything that's going on, with how badly this monarchy has been hit, what happens if I walk away, Annika? And then Lennox says, personally, I'd throw a festival, but I don't currently have the funds.
That was a good one. That was a funny one for sure.
Saved again the epilogue. So Lennox insisted that they teach their children about her games and how to hunt and gather the most painted rocks around the palace. Annika insisted upon teaching them his dances about lacing together hands and spinning until they were dizzy. They both insisted on not giving their children the names of their parents, but bestowing them with new ones. And they both insisted on loving the people they made to the point it annoyed them.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Very cute. It's very, very sweet. I don't
that
have
reminded
a quote
me
because
again
I was too into
the selection, the peanut butter fingers.
Peanut butter
in the
fingers.
letters.
You don't have a quote, Ash?
No, I don't have a quote because I was so into reading the book for 2 days. I didn't stop to. I totally forgot I was supposed to do that. And I can't even like go scroll through like the best of the quotes in the book because the book has been out long enough to do that.
Yeah, it's so new. Wait, I have one more that I want to mention. I don't have it written down, but there was one that I thought it was like after the cave, I think. And Lennox was saying something about like, oh, I finally get like how people can give their hearts fully to somebody. He's like,
Mhm.
because he was like, Annika like totally has my heart. She can just throw it out in the ocean and get rid of it, and I'd thank her. Or
Yeah.
something is what he
No,
said.
it's a
And that
great
is
one.
such a break my heart, break it 1,000
Oh!
times. It was only ever yours to break anyway. I was like, she's just reworking it, and I love it.
Yep,
It was really
yep.
good.
She knows what she's good at, and we're here for
What
it.
she's doing.
It was amazing. I loved that line too. I was thinking it'd be fun and also possibly start a little bit of a war to ask this question. What is y'all's individual favorite Kiera Cass book? You have to pick one.
Oh Lord.
Book?
Yes, book singular. And you have to pick one. I'll tell you guys right now, it's this one for me. 1,000 Heartbeats was my favorite.
Okay.
Go
100%.
Queen, go Queen.
Loved it so much. I liked her other stuff too, but I loved this. I'm obsessed with this
mean,
book. I need to reread it right now.
No, I loved it too. Maybe The Elite.
It's The Elite or the One. Okay.
Although when I first read The Siren, I was like, this is it.
Siren is
I
very
know.
good.
Siren
loved
is
the
so
Siren.
good.
I loved it.
I haven't read the second Betrothed Club.
Neither have I, but it's in
I
there.
will.
I like
Maybe
the
I'll
first
do
one.
it like next week or something. I'll have to reread the first one.
Probably for me, I'm just gonna say The Elite, just to say it.
I think I'm gonna say the One, but The Elite is a very close second
Mhm.
because the end of The Elite is,
Ugh.
I mean, some of the best stuff I've ever read.
It's insane.
But the One has all the closure. It
Yeah.
has the epilogue.
Mhm.
It has even more.
You like
really
an
good
epilogue,
scenes.
huh?
I love
You
a
really
good
like
epilogue.
Yeah.
I love a good epilogue.
That one has 2 epilogues, doesn't it? Yeah,
I think it does.
It has the wedding epilogue, and then it
Uh-huh.
has after that when she tells Maxon at like her birthday or his birthday that she's pregnant.
I'm gonna freak out. Stop. I'm gonna lose it.
I love a good epilogue,
You know what? I also love.
especially when I love the couple.
Oh yeah, maybe not my favorite, but I love. I really liked The Air a lot. I thought
The Air is very good.
it was
I
super
really
good.
like. Okay, I say third place, but tomorrow I could change my mind. But third place might be Maxon's novella.
Oh my
'Cause
god,
that, I mean,
that's some good.
it's really
shit.
like I just needed it. It was like I needed this insight
Mhm.
in this time period from him.
Yes, he's so sweet.
Yeah.
so
Ash is
fun.
like, I cannot handle this. But okay,
You guys are fine. Maxon's adorable, and I love him very
The
much. I
One
want the
is
best
my
for him.
answer.
the
The
one.
one. Okay.
Air,
So The Elite, the
1,000
one.
Heartbeats.
1,000
I thought you
Heartbeats.
said The Elite.
Oh yes, The Elite.
Yes,
Sorry.
The Elite, the one, 1,000 Heartbeats. I stand by what these two great. And finally, how many pinkies up would you give this book?
I'm giving it 5 for me. I loved it.
5.
Yeah, I had
Okay.
a really good time reading.
I'm
it.
also
I screamed
giving it
like
5.
8 times.
Yep, this book also gets 5 from me. Don't know if anyone could tell I love this book. She's over here like absolutely.
But see, this is not fair because all of Kiera's books get 5 from me.
I know.
Like I
that's-
just love
like
They
I
did not
can't
for
give it
me.
a low number because it's Kiera Cass. Like I'm not gonna give it.
All
a
of
low
you
Kiera
don't-
number.
Cass's
it's not like
books
your
are
But
good
it's
favorite
not.
for
It's not a
authors.
5.
See, I've given
Like
all of
a-
Kiera's books like around a 4 or just above a 4.
It's like a
Uh-huh,
3 and
but this is
3/4
higher
or
for you.
4.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a
3
4.
and 3/4. It doesn't even get a shot right
She said
now.
4. She said 4.
I'll give it a 4. It's
Okay.
just I needed more build up
Uh-huh.
Oh.
between.
This
I
is
needed
this
so
book
much
is the
less
divide
between-
between y'all.
Yeah,
And
that
then- well, I guess the
Okay.
selection also was too. It was just like you're more selection bias. You're more 1,000 Heartbeats bias.
it's true.
It was a good-
Maxon was
it was a
too
good
much
book.
build up. I was
I
like,
just-
y'all have had plenty of build up. Get
I just
to
needed
it.
more. I needed like a
Make a
combination
decision.
Mm,
between
Yeah,
this
okay.
and the selection.
Yeah.
I
That's
needed more
fair.
than this. I didn't need quite as much as the selection, but I definitely needed.
uh-huh.
That's completely fair.
Well,
These
I just
boys
had a
I'm
great time
crazy,
with it.
so.
I think that I love books where people get to sword fight, and I love
I do
I love
too.
princesses.
We
I
did
love
too in a
princess
row.
books. Yes,
In
princess
Musketeers,
books.
there was lots of
Princesses
sword
are my
fights.
Three
thing.
Musketeers had a lot of sword fight,
Mhm.
and I liked I felt that this was very ambitious, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I love the dual perspectives. I thought she
I did
killed
like
it.
that. Yeah.
She did a great job. Yeah.
I didn't
Um,
realize that this was the book that she kept tweeting, like the project I'm not working
Yeah.
on or the book I'm not
Yeah.
working on. I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was this.
It was this
project.
one.
This
yeah.
book, yeah.
Because I remember her tweeting that and like hashtagging that all
Me
the time.
too.
Yep.
All right. Good job, you guys.
Is there anything else we want to say about this book?
We've discussed.
I'm good. I think it's been 2.5 hours.
I know. I think we really said everything we could say.
Nice.
Well, if you guys like this episode, if you guys wouldn't mind leaving us a review below, that would be fabulous. We love to read them. If you guys have book recs for us for next season, you guys can reach out. You can message us on social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok. We are That Pretentious Book Club. You can also email us at contact@storysirenstudio.com if you want to talk about this book or another book or a book record. Just send us a longer email. We love to get those too. You guys can also go to storysirenstudio.com or patreon.com/storysirenstudio to get some exclusive merch, some really cool behind the scenes content. Go check it out if you guys want to see our videos. Those are all there. They are raw and uncut. You can see exactly what we look like. We do not pretty it up for you guys. We don't even edit the audio, so you're welcome. This is really what it's like. I think that's everything that we've got for you guys. Not next week, but the week after. Our next episode will come out for you guys, and we're going to be covering I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, which is going to be very exciting. I've never read this book, but it's going to be
big tonal
very
shift.
Very, very big shift. We went from musketeers and 1,000 Heartbeats, from action, adventure, sword fights. Yeah, we are. And then I think after that we're doing King of Scars. So that's going to be exciting. So woohoo, we have some really, you guys, I'm very excited for this season.
It's the Nikolai book from
Lido
Shadow and Bone. Yeah.
That's really exciting. So, and I can't, you guys, we have such a good list. If you guys want to see, also, I should have mentioned this before, if you guys want to buy or read the books that we cover in this show, you guys can follow the link in our episode descriptions to go to bookshop.org. So it actually supports local bookstores around the country, but you can still get the convenience of shopping online. And if you want to get our books, the ones that we cover specifically, you can literally just go click the link in the episode description. It will take you to a collection of each of our season reading lists, and you can just click from there to get whatever book you're looking at. So I forgot to tell you guys, it's there. It's always there. You guys can go back and check it out. This is awesome. There. If you guys want to see what else we're reading this season, all the books are on there. I think that's everything we've got for you guys. Pod-astrologist-Katherine, thank you for joining us again.
Yes, thank you.
This is such a fun time.
Oh, we're so glad you're here.
I know. I love having two resident Max.
We never would have.
It would have been just two people who love Lennox, which is, I'm surprised that you liked Lennox as much
we
as you
need the friction.
Yeah,
we do need the friction, because Kendall was not going to bring it this episode, apparently. She had a weird Magnus moment where she's like, actually, I'm really into this.
We can bring it, but not this time. Yeah, this was great. Great job, everyone.
Yeah, fantastic.
Say to us.
Great job, team. Good work. All right. Well, we'll see you guys 2 weeks from now. And until then, keep your teacups full,
your pinkies high,
and your book club
pretentious.
Yay!